Going on, everybody? Thank you, Obi, Satya. Yeah, look, it might be a busy afternoon if you're looking at specific names here. We continue to be long. Thank you, Obi, as we were borrowing poppies around here because Neil actually created this problem.
It was crazy. Like my poppy fell off, and then I saw there was like half of it was sitting on the back of the other desk, and then the pin part was gone. I couldn't find it, and then like 5 minutes before we started the show, it worked. Ramin, your thing worked, and then I found the other half of it. So I got my own poppy back, but I don't know, just kind of a weird story. But it's it's an unbelievably ridiculous move in Tesla.
That's we've taken over $25 on Tesla today, and it's just the long was easy to begin with for sure. I mean, everybody and their mother, father, dog. I think my dog got some long down here as well. Breaking through this 300 was a no-brainer. You have to be looking at that. And then breaking through 320, I felt like was a no-brainer again as well. So we took that one. We still crossed up the same 40 cents. This time we get 320 25s. So we were just getting a bunch out. Like you guys know the way I'm trading. So these out are about $1, all about $1. Our best out there, 50s. Then we got another piece out at 321 because we weren't sure what was going to happen. It was already a pretty big move for the day, right? So already nicely done. Then we took some out at 322. Then we take some out at 323. Then we take some out at 325 50s. And that's basically where we are right now. So Tesla just continues to be that one. It's only up 10%, but I mean, wow. It's up over 50% or so. This was earnings when we called it. And boom, there it goes. I was, this is again, something else that we're pretty proud of doing, obviously, as it's not like it's easy or hard to make predictions about what stocks are going to do. Sometimes you're wrong about them, but there on Tesla, it was setting up there for a little bit of risk to reward where you had the 200 period and then boom, and then the election, right? I mean, no matter what we say about the earnings, we were doing this. It was really peeling off. And I remember talking about that, and I was like, yeah, we got to wait. I don't want to get long any of these Mag 7 names. Most of the names off earnings have done this. And then this happens with President-elect Donald Trump, I guess, January 20th, going to take effect. And then we'll see what kind of friendly fire there is. I only have 10% left of this Tesla position. And each level up here has been about 5% until we got most of them out there. We probably got about 75% out there, and then a little bit, and then a decent 10% spot there, and still have 10 left. So 10% left on this Tesla trade. It continues to work. It continues to go higher. Pretty good. We talk about it all the time. There's only so many opportunities you have in the day to make big trades. Otherwise, a lot of scalping, and I think into Friday now, monster. The market being up today would mean it was close to another all-time high close. I know we faded off a little bit yesterday, so we'll just continue to look over there.
You get to the high.
When do I think we get 400 on Tesla? What's up, Odyssey Flights? I mean, we called 280, 290 there. Now it's 324. We have another $5 on Randy. What's up, Randy? We have another $5 on Tesla on this 320 break, up 10%. So the question is when do we get to $400 on Tesla? So, yeah, that's what I keep saying. And then Ramin's like, watch your language. All right, holy schmoly. We can say schmoly, right? Yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is earnings, by the way, down here, 215. So you've added about 50%.
More.
50%. I just checked my account. We're up 72% off of our recent buy on Tesla. Recent buy. 72%. Did not sell any. So 400 is the all-time high right there. When do we get there? I mean, I guess
if you get there tomorrow afternoon, that'd be one heck of a overnight session.
Yeah, it could be next Friday. Again, you add 10% more to this, then you're up here. Can we get a couple percentage points a day next week? Probably. But again, I'm just here to trade, put on these and show you guys. I'm not trying to predict where we're going from here. He's already sort of roadmapped this out. If they can get Optimus, that robot kicking, then they get those cars going. Then they get another Model 2, Randy, a little bit cheaper. We just talked about that as well, buying cheaper EVs right now. People are looking for those. So if they can get that going, Rivian's trying to get the R1T, right, a cheaper model as well. So if Tesla can get that figured out, I think sky is up here.
There was one analyst that had, if they capture 50% of the ride-hailing market, that is that alone of current, we're not even talking about the future applications of robot, being able to sell $100 a month, right, of full self-drive. We're just talking about just capturing rideshare in general. That's 20% on their revenue. Yeah. That alone.
Crazy.
Then you start throwing, if you then start throwing out things like, okay, the recurring revenue from full self-drive on regular vehicles and then commercial, and then Optimus, you begin to sort of pile in there. That said, I was considering selling 5% in front of 320, didn't. And then we were sitting here and I threw an order at like 324 at 69 in my personal account. I was going to say, if it gets to 325, I'm taking 5% off. I don't know. It's an absolute rocket at this point, but I've been looking for places. I did sell Crowd yesterday and was looking for another place to maybe get a little bit more cash before I left. And it is wild on Tesla. There's no question about it. We'll see. Sometimes you sell. It's like, even if it's not a lot, you look back and you hate it after, but that's part of life. Probably not a lot of sellers in UPST today. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that are up, pun intended, but upstart. It's been quiet for me for lunch. I'll get it. Like AMD is a bit of a reversion trade. Like it was just trending down. We were shorted earlier, but I did miss the shot on. Well, I didn't miss the shot. I took the shot on upstart. I just lost on the shot on upstart the first time through. And then it put in another trend and continued. It did get to $80. I said once it got to $80, that's where I'd look for it. So it kind of broke the trend line there. It could not get to VWAP, so the best it did was 78, and then the tape went ham off of the 78 bounce, so I covered it all. I was looking for the last push into VWAP, and it's right back above 80. So this continues to be a rocket ship. It's very different. Like all the fundamental stuff that we just said about Tesla as to why they're going to win, I don't think I can apply any of that stuff to Upstart. Don't know. I can't make the case for it, but it's squeezing. It's 35% short flow. That's what seems like it's happening today. I was joking this morning when I said, well, let's see what happens if it gets to 50% up. I was not even serious when I said that, and this stock seems to want to get there. It could do something crazy parabolic again, and if it does, maybe I'd take another shot at it short, but the fact it couldn't even get to VWAP on that pullback. I thought that was 80 to 76, and it couldn't give you any more than 78. Another name which is squeezing, which might break out, is GME through 25. So that's worth watching here this aft. Is also starting to go to the upside, but is what it is. It's like the Tesla show. And volume everywhere else is pretty non-significant. It was good on the chips early, but since it was basically, when I was looking around at lunch, it was Tesla and Upstart that were moving, and I don't know, the GameStop a little bit, I suppose. At one point, DJT was moving, and then that really died down. So it's just not a heck of a lot on a Friday. Obviously, after Fed, we didn't get anything crazy from Jerome one way or the other. When the most exciting thing was him answering questions about him being let go, it tells you we got pretty much as expected, which we said would be the case. Yeah. And we're right back to earnings, right? Like earnings mattering. So let us know if there's anything you guys want us to look at or talk about. Hey, Davis, Boeing. Oh, here we go. Boeing had all its problems. Will the stock start to rise again?
We just got 326. We just put another $6 on right there. I was just going to say, I was waiting for that question to answer, and I was just going to tell you that we have another offer there. So we had 10%. We just took out another third, so another 3.5% out right there at 326. Another $6 winner here on Tesla. And we just put it on. Like, we actually came back from what we went swimming. We came back. We sat down. We had some salad. I was hearing some oh boys. We started to see this going back up to the upside. All we did was put in the buy. It's like a lot of this stuff, Neil, is not rocket science. You know, like that long at 320, why would you, I mean, for me, looking at Tesla here, that's a definite break. I mean, it's the same level. We saw 290 break. We saw 300 break. Probably the same thing at 310. I mean, we weren't even, here's 310. Exact same thing at 310, right? 310 breaks and goes all the way. I mean, I guess there was that little wick there up to 310.30, falls back in about $2, and then goes 8. And then here's the break of 320. So again, and we've tweeted this all out. Go follow at TraderTV, Sean at TraderTV, Neil, Brendan, everybody. But only one place you're going to find these kind of charts, and it's TraderTV, Sean. Huge move up. Here we go again, man. Now up 10% already today. Just keeps on climbing. Wow. I know we always get that J-Car eye on cue. Yeah, we can have a quick look at that. Have I ever seen this kind of desperation buying, Kyle? Yeah. I mean, is it desperation buying? I mean, thing is that there's so much money on the sidelines. We've been talking about this forever. Brendan and I used to have the podcast, and we joked about never, ever selling. And I mean, the thing is like, yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, the stock market, right? I mean, rich people need to put their money somewhere. They're not keeping it in their mattresses. They're not keeping it in their bank accounts. They're putting it somewhere, right? The only guy that's keeping it in their bank account right now is Mr. Warren Buffett. And yeah, Tesla's not really a jam for him. I bet you he wishes it was. Up to 327 now. Tesla just keeps on going. Now we are now $7. Like, Neil, I thought it was a special day when we were in the money 20. But now you add another, like, this is just a monster trade. And yeah, one that I don't know if it's going to stop, man.
At this point, it doesn't seem like it wants to.
It does not.
It doesn't seem like it wants to at all. And it's a great trade. It's been a good day. I mean, Tesla's not your best stock today, regardless of what you got or didn't get. And realistically, I know the 300 break sucked in terms of trying to get it or not, because that's where you always want to put the most on. And I didn't get it, and a lot of people didn't get it. And it is just like yesterday. I'll tell you this much.
Imagine we had got it.
The next time, look, and I was having this conversation with Brankles, was just, you know, at some point, we didn't get the 290 yesterday. Today, I crossed a little bit more. The next time a level like that comes, you just gotta cross even further. If you really want it, you just, instead of crossing, I think I went from crossing 22s to crossing 42 or something like that today.
Yeah.
So I think this time it's like I'm crossing past the 50, which I don't usually do on an even dollar break. And that's just it. Like maybe it'll be like 67 or I don't know, something along those lines. And you're going to get the best fill, like wherever the best fill is. If it's 40s, if it's 48s, at least you'll be in the trade. And the other thing you can do is just adjust it. Like if your stop is going to be, just say it's going to be 99.5, right? Well, if you think you're going to get 20s, and you know, risking 70 pennies, then size for that. And if you think you're risking to be $1.20 based on where you might get the fill, then size for that. And that's all you can really do, because clearly there's a change in the amount of liquidity available on those level breaks for a lot of day traders, and that's something that it's a bit different from what we're used to. I've seen it on IPOs as well, where you just have to make the adjustment. Just to go over, I know someone was like, "Oh, AMD still short." Yeah, it was a short this morning, no questions asked. That's what we were doing this morning. And it was just a mean reversion trade. So essentially, here it is from VWAP. I saw it start to go, closed above, took the long, started scalping out, trying to scalp out more. Stop is underneath the prior bar now. Now that it went up to 50s already, the stop is now tight underneath the 148. It was basically that and Upstart that we were playing with. And Upstart does seem like it's running back into the high of the day. So it's trying to make another trend break of the high. And this, looking for a very, very patient reversion on Upstart. This one I'm not chasing. It's not going meme crazy when you look at the tape. Yeah, it's up a lot, but there's a distinct difference between Tesla's tape and Upstart's tape, despite it being up 47%. So I do think this one has a better chance of doing a mean reversion trade. Like the two trades I had on are mean reverts. So far, so good on them. But the one that I don't know that I want for mean reversion is Tesla. I'd rather look for something else for a reversion setup than the one that's going meme crazy.
Listen, we won't discuss share sizes here, but I'll just, you know, being able to get into this trade, like right now, it's a big one, and just being able to, and I missed, same thing what Neil said, like we both missed this 300 break, and I only put on 40 cents worth of a bid. I did the same thing on this break, the 320 break, and we got 320.25. So to that point, yes. And I mean, just getting this right now, like Tesla's just a very, very big stock there today, and yeah, I am playing with house money. But again, you know, just because up here someone said, what was that, Hey Davis or someone? Oh no, not Hey Davis, RFID trader. Yeah, buy TSLL. Yeah, I mean, I trade the TQQs, right? So 3 times leverage, but I just trade it because of the price. Like, I don't know. I just prefer it than the Qs. I could do either one. It doesn't really, for me, with the amount of money that we, like, you're talking about getting funded with 20,000. That's great for everybody else. But all right, so TQQs. So what do you say, TSLL? So this is going to be a triple. Did it just say triple there? TSLL. What did it say?
That one is 2x.
2. So 2x to long. Yeah. So again, if funding or something is an issue for you guys, then yeah, just go long this. I mean, same difference. You know, that doesn't. For me, it would just be something new where I'd have to develop a strategy of just how many shares to use, you know, because a $20 stock, like I'm not sure. Like yesterday when we called Tesla 290 to 300 and it worked, like if I have a $10 price target, then I know I could trade a certain amount of shares, right? And use that. And if I know my stop is $2 for TSLL, I can do the same thing. It would just take a little bit of time for me to sort of get used to trading this and how it acts. But the same levels are the same, right? I mean, there's 1875, 1880 for that break. That's the 320, right? So the same level that I just went long on would be right here, 1894. Nice move to the upside. So we're already really huge on this name today, and yeah, we'll just continue to watch out for it. See what it can do. We only have now 6% left, so I'm very, very happy with it. Like I said, it's a big stock, and it's more than 20x the next best stock. So that might not be true. Sorry, Apple's there. It's about 4x. It's about 4 to 5 times my Apple profits, right? So that's what it is. So I'm really, really happy with this stock here today. NVIDIA, I'm flat on it. What happened to NVIDIA? Oh yeah, this. Yeah, well, we did this live to you guys. So I'm actually flat on NVIDIA. Like literally, I said yesterday to Neil, I've never seen a zero trade. Believe it or not, I'm up 33 cents, like net on this. So it's like 33 cents, like 3 dimes and 3 pennies is what I'm up on this stock here today after all this. That's amazing I never even, a couple of days in a row, we've seen things like that. All right, so NVIDIA flat on the stock there today, up on Apple, and then up on Apple, and then flat on DJT, which was a very, very fun trade early. We can have a look at that now, too. But here's DJT right now. Wow, back at the 31. Nice moves, right? $30 held. That looked like a good VWAP hold right there, in and around that $30 mark. So good job there for anybody looking at DJT, a very, very nice stock. Hey, man, good job, Easy Peasy, being up 12K on that stock. You would be number one here and probably at Real Trading, period. But again, the reason why it's called Real Trading is because it's real trading. And although I believe you, you know, it's just those numbers are very, very impressive. So congratulations to anything like that. To make 12,000 in one day, I mean, that you're talking about like, you know, monthly returns. And that's great. So congratulations, and just keep on trading what you're doing, but make sure that you know, go buy yourself something nice, go out for a nice dinner, whatever. Congratulate yourself on that one, because these kind of days, as you can see, don't happen all the time. I mean, to put on $30 in a day on Tesla, like you don't normally get that. So we're really happy with the performance there. And yeah, congratulations. I'm going to put my stop here at 320 whenever we start breaking this 50 period, right? So I'll get out of half, 324.50. So we're going to put a stop order out for that to take just 450 on it, and we'll let the rest ride. So 324.50 coming soon to a trader near you.
Great look there on Tesla. One of the places where you're able to make trades with someone else's money, like on a prop floor, is going to be Trade the Pool, allowing traders like you to get evaluated and trade real shares using the company's capital, with no PDT rule holding you back. That's a real edge in trading. Here's the exciting part. Trade the Pool has just launched a limited edition program for stock traders. For a one-time fee of just $97, you'll receive $20,000 in buying power. All you need to do is reach the profit goal. The best part? This limited edition program now has a reduced profit goal and fewer minimum trades required to reach the funded phase. Plus, the profit split is upgraded to keep 70% of the profits. Don't miss the chance to explore this limited time offer. Join now for free. Link in the description. Scan the QR code below. We have a couple of super chats, or we did get a couple. I know there was one about IonQ. Rohit, shout out. Palantir, stock of the month at $58. It just got to.
Do not.
58, it did. But just to go over IonQ, I know we got that one a few minutes ago.
We have to sell.
But there's a few parabolic movers like crazy. I was just about to show you that DXYZ, which again, all things Elon are winning, and that is like the SpaceX proxy. 84% this stock is up. It was at $22 at yesterday's close. It was at $22 this morning. It just hit 40 today, that DXYZ stock. And again, the valuation of how much SpaceX is in that, I don't know. And based on whatever the last round of funding was, I don't know how realistic that price, or fundamentally whether it makes sense or not. IonQ also blowing it out. Another squeeze name, 23% to the upside. This was a recent report. Just a couple of days ago, they had earnings and have blown it out. Like last week or 2 weeks ago, I do believe like Sharif was trading this in like the 10s and 12s and stuff like that. And now it's another double up type stock. But it is about that short float. It's really starting to going. They're the quantum computing name that is going absolutely ham. So there are a few that are doing some ridiculous moves in here, getting a little mean crazy up in here. This one in particular, that DXYZ, a little surprised that I don't think I've seen a halt on this. It feels like a few times it should have gone into a halt. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy for all things Elon related. This yet another one of them.
All right, so you guys know where we're at here. If there's anything else you guys want to look at, thank you so much, easy peasy. I'll just read what this is. I have no idea what you just wrote, but let me pull this down. Learn from me. Forget about the best. I don't know. On putting on large share sizes. Yeah, I mean, it matters. It only matters about the price levels. And then again, if you want to make money, you have to trade with size, right? And so that's the one thing. So that's all. If there's anything I'm trying to teach anybody, it's not how to put on large size. I never talk about that because we never talk about our share size. You know, so you have no idea. What I'm just trying to show you is go over, and again, this is why I think the most important thing is to ask us. Like, if I'm going to show you 10 trades and I'm red on 9 of them, that's not good. You know, but if I'm going to show you 10 trades and I'm 5 and 5, okay, then, you know, and you can justify sort of figuring out what's going on, then that's great. You know, or ask us if we're red or green on the day. Like, little things like that is what's important, but I do appreciate the super chat because it's just about being comfortable. Like, if you put on 10,000 shares here and the thing goes up $30, you know, I mean, $300,000? Like, you know, you're going to have to just decide on what the most comfortable amount of share size is that you have and what you're going to take and how and what levels you're going to look at, because that's all that matters. It's not, you know, and I want to thank you for that, because I don't think we're shy from saying that. Like, we'll all trade differently and I'll trade the most shares, but it doesn't mean anything, you know. It's just about being comfortable in what you're doing. And a lot of that does come with experience, and a lot of it does come with balls and things like that. And you gotta have those, and you gotta have ideas, and you gotta follow them. So like right now, regardless of share size, you know, half of the position that I have left right here is gonna come out at the 50-period moving average. You know, we talked about it. There's going to be videos coming out. The 50-period moving average is, you know, we got in down here on a dip down into VWAP. We always talk about this. Boom goes the dynamite. We're in, right? And then right up to here, this is a 320 break. And now we're trying to, and ask Adam. I mean, when Adam was here, I even asked you guys on the chat, like, how can I hold for longer, you know? And it's like, just watch the 50 period. Now, the 50 period broke right here, and we got out at 315. It must have been the 50 period at the time, because that would be the only reason to get out. That broke and we got out. But right now, if this breaks again, we're going to get out of half of what we have left. And the same thing was true, right? So we're going to just keep on holding it. And again, I really thank everything. Thank everybody for everything here. It doesn't, you know, let's just keep the good vibes going. So right now, watch, hands off, right? As long as my order's in there right now. Oh, 324, okay, now this is up. All right, I got to change it because I put 324.50, but this has obviously changed, so 325. So yeah, we're going to get out of Tesla if it breaks that level, and that's that. So 324.97, we'll get out of half of what we have left. All right, and then that's that. So yeah, we're just getting ready to go here. I want to thank, again, everybody for watching, and, you know, judge us for the trades that we show you and what's going on them, not for the share sizes that we trade. So we want to be known for hopefully being able to show you this kind of stuff. And we both have our notes that we put out every day. The sticky note has obviously been a popular one. So make sure you continue to follow that.
And sometimes the notes,
yeah, go ahead.
The notes are notes and a trade's a trade. And Marcus, you sent a super chat I'm going to get tomorrow. Actually, I did want to talk about Mara and then still say I have found nothing about CleanSpark, which is kind of crazy because my physio guy has told me he loves CleanSpark, and I don't know why that's still halted. But on the note of, well, two things. One, you got to be able to get in sometimes. And I'll try to show you, well, I've shown you twice today exactly what I'm looking for on Upstart. The difference the third time, so when it did this reversion here, I did get in, took the L. It hadn't actually broken the trend line when I got in, so that was a rule break, and I just got out. And then it ended up working anyways, but it was a rule break. Then it broke this trend from those lows, and I got the short that only got to 78 from 80. It now just broke another one, and as it came under, I couldn't get in, as it just kind of spiked a little bit fast. I'm not going to sit out here in case it pops up. If it does want to consolidate underneath, then I'll try to get the shorts tighter to 81 as it's hopefully consolidating. It did a consolidation after the last break of trend. So if it does the same thing and goes sideways, I want to be short with my stop out at that local high, which is like 81.34, and then look for a not VWAP retrace because it hasn't been getting to VWAP and it's been way too strong for that. So that's the idea here on Upstart. Again, it's not really going meme crazy. It's a little bit more controlled at this point, which is, I think, one of the reasons why I like it a little bit better for a mean reversion trade this afternoon. With regards to Mara, I mean, Bitcoin hasn't been as crazy today as it has previously. So I want to always start there when it comes to Mara. So Bitcoin, we know it's close to that 77,000.
Jesus.
That's supposed to see, I swear this happens on TradingView. Like, I always have one of them a daily, and somehow it like reverts back to what it was before, and they're both 15-minute. No, we can't seem to make a breakout. We're consolidating at 77 without any break away from it. And a lot of times you'll get this, like the big moves happen over the weekend kind of deal. So you're getting this weird not weird, but you're just getting a consolidation off the top, but at those highs. Mara, on the other hand, is not getting to the high. Lower high, lower high, lower high. So I feel like Mara is having some trouble here. And as I say that, wow, that probably set up gorgeously for its own little reversion trade. But yeah, Mara, it seems a little bit weak. You know, like that's all I'm getting at. When you're at the highs and consolidating on Bitcoin and Mara's losing VWAP and couldn't get to the high, I think this one looks like it's running out of steam for today. And you know, like you can have a choice, like take a reversion trade on something which is setting you up and giving you reasons to go short, which I think you could make an argument that would have given you a trade in here, whether it would have worked or not. So Mara, I'm staying away from it unless I was thinking if Bitcoin were to fall, I think I'd probably look for a short in Mara because it's already a heck of a lot weaker. And that's just the case with the miners. CleanSpark is still halted for the day, pending news. It's like not news. It was information request from the NASDAQ. And I keep checking every now and then to see what's... Oh, you do have it now? Okay, thanks, Brennan. Where did you put it? Okay, Brennan did just send something. I'll have to read through it, but before we go, right back up to 148.40 on AMD. It's going sideways after its mean revert. Like, it's not breaking out and going to VWAP, but it did manage to hold on to that prior support level at 148. But given the fact that it's not really going that far that fast, going to take something out in front of resistance, could still get to VWAP ultimately, but both AMD and likewise NVIDIA, they were active this morning and then have now just going sideways. So with NVIDIA kind of trending off that bottom, want to make sure we're taking some profit on AMD. That reversion, it gave a win, but it's not exactly like it's screaming into VWAP, which is usually what I'm looking for.
All right, so you want full disclosure and honesty? I mean, every single, not every single position, but all the ones definitely that I talk about here on the show, there it is. I just sold 10% of Palantir. That's it. I mean, honestly, man, I look down. We won't tell, I mean, okay, we're long sub 10. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if we can get something out here on Palantir at this level, it's just there's so many moments in the market that are like these euphoric moments. And I just think like with President Trump, just, you know, and I like Palantir, sold 10%, you know. That's only in one account, actually. I'm not selling any in my long-term account. So this is just in the swing account. I actually, now that I think about it, maybe I should even sell a bit more. And what I mean by euphoric is like market at all-time highs, a big win there, expected by many, not by some, for President Trump. And what does that mean for the market? And what does that mean for all of this, right? And so I just think that being able to sit here and get something out right now on this move up, I mean, Palantir just this week is up from $42 to $58 and creating all-time highs there for PLTR. So definitely worth looking at, I think, as a sell option there. Neil talked about getting out of some Tesla. I think that's probably a wise decision as well.
Probably not.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, honestly, any sell that you've made in the last, how old are you? 40 years?
24.
Has been a mistake. There's not one stock that I know that I've sold that is, other than Alibaba, and I just did it in front of you a little while ago, that's actually going to wind up working out. What's one of them?
Well, I know it's more of a joke. There was during COVID, I bought like three. Yeah, I bought like 3 trash stocks. I mean, Pinterest was actually not bad, and Pfizer at the time. I think it's above. Pfizer at the time was okay, but I bought. Well, first Alibaba, one of them was a firm, one of them was a space, and then why am I blanking on the crypto bank stock? Silvergate, yeah, it was Silvergate at 47. I got out of most of it like way too early. I was selling at like 80, 100, it went to 150, and I held on to like 5% of it. And then on the way back down, when it went to break even, I sold it and bought Coinbase. And then I didn't know the stock was going to go bankrupt, but it was more along the lines of why hold on to. You buy something that's gimmicky, and on the way back down, like why even hold on to it? And I was turning myself into a 5% left bag holder. At the time, I mean, Coinbase at the time ended up, I mean, like it's fine now, but at the time when I put it into Coinbase for the long term, like Coinbase kept bleeding too, but it eventually caught a bit of a bit. Speaking of Coinbase, I just wanted to point out, Coinbase is having a good day. This is another point towards, I guess the Mara comment, like when you look at coin and when you look at Bitcoin, and Coinbase is breaking through yesterday's highs, holding higher and bouncing back toward the high. Like that is distinctly different from what's going on in Mara. And the other thing I did too, I just posted the link that Brendan sent on the CleanSpark story. So if you see in the chat what I just posted, I'm not going to read off the entire press release. It's not worth it. But you guys can check that out. So it looks like there was some kind of a clerical issue there. But yeah, Mara distinctly different. And some of the miners, that's just how they are right now. They're just not as strong. Yeah, it's a really long-winded thing. I'm not in CleanSpark. I don't really have any skin in the game, but a few people have asked about it. So I did post that for you. You can go check that out if you're interested. I don't know that I saw a resumption yet, but maybe now that it's out, it's possible. Now, it's still, yeah, if there was like a resumption, I think it would have been in there. It still says information request, and there is no resumption time for CleanSpark. So I would make the strong suggestion it's probably not opening until Monday, if that.
All right. Yeah, definitely not opening today. All right, there it is. I haven't looked at it, so I don't take that for anything. There it is. Tesla. We got out of half, so we got another 3% there. So we only have 3% left on what we had on that initial break. So of 320. We have the break of 298, so we are out of that one. Let's check out DraftKings. I wanted to get some DraftKings today. So I like DraftKings a lot. And I had bought this name down, I think it was around 16 or 17. And then we sold this again, I think it was at 34, 35. Oh, here, why is this so zoomed in? And it was a long time ago we sold it. I feel like it was back into here. Yeah, I think it was right here before the year end. I feel like, but I sold it because I saw that level before. So I think, yeah, so it must have been into here. It must have been like on this break and then using this as a level right there. So yeah, coming back in, a level for me to look at for our friend, most of our friends anyways, DraftKings, like the stock, don't like it when they take all my money when I gamble. But I wanted to get back in, and me and Adara were watching this on the recap show, of course, and when it went down to 31, I'm like, I'm taking that level. We didn't. We were on the air, and nor would have I don't think, unless you were trading and you're actively in front of a screen. But I like these levels, so I actually came in today and I put a bid at 35.50. We didn't get filled, but that was a level that I was trying to look at. It didn't get down there that low today. But I think that DraftKings, now that they've sort of solidified it, DraftKings is not even available yet in Texas, in California, in Florida.
The Florida market.
That is, yeah.
Well, the Seminole, yeah.
It doesn't matter. That is 25% of the population of the United States. DraftKings not even there. And there's a bunch of degenerates everywhere. And so, let alone, those, I don't really have an opinion on what state. I mean, they just got Missouri, which is 2% of the population as well. But at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter what percentage of the population they have or don't have. Every person that gets added into the platform is guaranteed revenue.
It's just money, yeah.
So once they get that customer acquisition cost, which they're doing it, down, then the sky is the limit. And then, you know, gamblers don't ever win. So they'll win every once in a while, but in the long term, I don't know if a sports gambler
that's print money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what it is. But anyways, I really like DraftKings, and I'm not in it very many shares at all. So I want to buy some more there. We'll sell some Palantir up at the top here, and then see if we can get into some DraftKings if it dips down. But realistically, what a good time it's been. I wrote down sell SMR, sell Tesla, sell Palantir, sell Cardano, sell Amazon.
Oh, that was the other thing.
The only one that I sold was...
You didn't put an offer on SMR?
Palantir, no. I'm not selling SMR. We're well in the money on that one. I want to see if we can really make a difference there.
I did. Like that was, I think I said that this morning. Maybe I did or didn't. I don't know. I sold some in front of 24.69. But let's go over to Adara. Those nuclear names are fantastic. They've been doing great.
Great look here for Salesforce. CRM here up about 2 1/3% on the day. Just hearing here, apparently the company now going to be hiring 1,000 people to sell their AI Agentforce tools. So AI and hiring story for a CRM with a bit of a volume spike, as you can see in that most recent move up. Earlier this morning, there was I saw a bit of a story here on Benzinga as well. Apparently, there's a golden cross on CRM, which could explain maybe technical breakout, this move to the upside. That was the only catalyst I saw before we got this most recent news that apparently they are looking to hire 1,000 people for selling their Agentforce AI tool, guys.
At 140 something, did you look? Well, you're going.
You know what's crazy? We were just talking about the US dollar, and like offhand, I knew what the euro was at, but I don't know what the US CAD,
right.
USD CAD. Like that's so bad. What an awesome Canadian I am.
It doesn't matter. I mean, US dollars. I'm just saying because you're going.
No, I can check. It's like we have it on the system. So 139.1. It's sitting at.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I think that's better.
It's a cool thing about real trading.
A lot more than that.
Like I love this. Like I can pull up. I don't want to sit here and say I can pull up any currency pair. I'm pretty sure we have just about every one. I don't trade Forex, but it's there for us. So it is, 139 and a bunch of other numbers. 139.15 USD CAD. I like CRM. I'm still in that one. But not much of a day trade there on CRM, but a very strong day. Like the market has been so good in like how there's so many charts that are going to look like this. Although this doesn't want to completely fill, but on the daily, it's just been trending and trending and trending and trending. And this is the perfect example for buy and hold. You know, and you can pull up a million charts like that. I did want to go back over, kind of waited for after that trend break. Where did that go? After that trend break, didn't get the fill underneath 81, but just sort of waited for it to get back to 80.80 and then put it on. So waited for it to get back up instead of chasing it all the way down to 80 even, and that way it's just a little bit less risk. It consolidated last time, so let's see if it does it again there. I know that IonQ is going. C Battles, 1306 SoFi.
13?
Oh, no, come on. I thought he meant it was at 1306.
So
yeah, see, you put this in the chat, C Battles.
Come on, C
Battles. And the SoFi shareholders, which, you know, we say we do. Like, I have it. I
like to say bag holder for myself.
Well, yeah. Well, I held it.
Although maybe I'm in the money now. Maybe I should.
I'm in the money now, but it was out of the look. It was out of the money for so long when the market was going up that it doesn't really matter. Even though it's up now, well, the opportunity cost of not being in something else is gigantic. So that's why I consider myself a SoFi bag holder. But when you put in the chat that it's at 1306, I'm a trusting person. I'm just trusting. I thought it was breaking $13. It's up 7%. I knew it was already going, and the great continuation. This is what's frustrating. Like yesterday, the 12, it just didn't go yesterday. You know, you got a couple of scalp trades in there. Like it went 10, 12 cents in the money. It went 10, 12 cents out of the money. Did a whole lot of nothing, and then you get the breakout today on SoFi. So I think it's on one. The good thing about SoFi is, if you'll indulge me to look at why I think it's got a lot more room, I'm just going to pull up a weekly chart. The weekly chart on SoFi's breakout. If you think it looks good on that 15-minute or a daily, trust me, this is where it begins to look really good on the weekly chart. There is your 200 period on the weekly. You don't have to be a chartered market technician to understand what this candle means. Like this candle after earnings, rejection of underneath 10, a rejection of the 200 period on the weekly, and then a breakout after that, and then you zoom the sucker out. You're like, yeah, we got 16 bucks. We got 23, 24 up here. I think at least in the short term, you're headed to 16. I would not be surprised. I feel like in a move like this, you should be getting to 16 by the end of the year. Otherwise, it's not that good of a momentum play. Like this should be taking us into 16 bucks by the end of the year, at least based on this pattern in SoFi. 18% short float as well, which is fantastic. That's what you want to see. Is that still going, CRM?
I hear them talking right now. They're saying they're promoting.
It is still going.
They're hiring more people? Is that what they're saying? Promote one of their tools? I don't know. Oh, what's up, D-Loaf? Has 70% in long-term on SoFi since September. I feel like that's going to be a good call. SoFi from September? Wasn't that the low?
That's $7. That's the $7 low.
Yeah, good call. Yeah. I mean, those things happen all the time, and great call. I mean, it was like that DraftKings, like I think it was like $10 or $15 level I really liked. SoFi down there as well. The only name that I could think, I mean, there's a lot of names that I could think about right now. I'm sure a lot of you can. Is I'm wondering about Rivian because I just think like this is a name that we could at some point, I mean, we've talked about it. Randy's liked the name. He thinks there's a chance. You know, this could be one. And we last time it was down here, we put our money where our mouth was. We had bought this down here and got out of half. And then we're still holding the other half, I believe. I don't think I've gotten out of any since. Back to the upside. So we're still in it right around here. I'm not going to average in. I don't necessarily like this company. I don't know if I like any car companies, to be honest with you right now. But at the end of the day, like this could be one that we look back and it's trading around like 16 or 17 and you're like, man, where was that 60%? So I think you can get 60% right here on Rivian if everything works out for it. So make sure that you double check your math on that if you like Rivian.
This time I'm taking 18 if it goes.
Yeah, if it gets back up to 18, I think that's worth taking. I mean,
I feel like an idiot not taking 18.
Yeah, I don't feel the same way on Ford. I don't think Ford has the same opportunities as Rivian, but this could be another name that when you look back at it, I mean, even just from the bottoms, like it's up 10%. Like buying the 10, 10, 20 area up to 11, 11, 20, that's $1 right there. So that's like, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10%, depending on when you got in. And then if you can get back into this like 13 or 14 area, then all of a sudden you're at that 30% mark. So it's funny, like we always look back and you hear historically, and it's just a shame that the school doesn't do a way better job of teaching people how to invest, which is why my kids already own stocks, and I talk about it almost.
They don't do it at all.
Almost daily with my kids. And it's just like, get some knowledge about all of this, because putting your money in your mattress is all well and good. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, please, feds, do not come check my mattress. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like, just the compounding interest of what this market has been doing, going through, it's 12.5 or 13% in the last like 40 something years. So, you know, I believe, yes. Do I believe in the market? Of course. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity here, and I think it's getting even better. And if your kids are, or you're young enough to do it, again, we're not financial advisors here, but the magic of compounding is math.
It's just math.
Yeah, if you trust the markets, then there is no better place. But there is fixed income now. Fixed income is pretty good. 4 or 5% guaranteed.
I've always been a little bit conservative in nature. So like for myself, when I started out, I put to build at the beginning.
That's my biggest problem.
I built with conservative things that would pay me a dividend and buying the market. And then eventually I started using that, like the gains from the dividends and whatnot, to start going in individual stocks. Now, ultimately, that has cost an absolute boatload. But at the same time, people are much more empowered now. Like now, you have greater access to information. You've got shows like us. You have more ability to control your own destiny, be able to do vast amounts of research with quality platforms and make good decisions. Like, and it can be as simple as, do you think the U.S. economy is still going to be a leader by the time you retire? If answer yes, Q's good, NVIDIA good. Like, it's just, it gets really simple in that standpoint. It's not that difficult to get into. That said, when you were mentioning Ford, my first thought was, I can't wait till Rader's back on, because I wanted to hear the case for Toyota again. Because that chart, like they just reported, and it's like,
I don't think it was Rader.
It wasn't Rader?
I think it was Mitch.
Was it Mitch? Oh, no, you're right. It was Mitch. It was Andrew was XBI, and it was Mitch. XBI? No, next time we have. No, I like XBI too. You know what? It was, because I like XBI. He was talking XBI, and I.
Well, XBI this morning was Michael Noss.
No, but they both like XBI. Yeah, I remember the same day they love XBI.
Well, they both watch Trader TV Live.
Well, I can tell you it's a good one. Toyota, it does seem like it's trying to make a big time long trend break. I think those are usually like trades as opposed to like I don't see something this bad as an investment when you have a clear winner in the space. But when you reverse trends like this, it can be pretty lucrative. And I think you look for those as like swing trading ideas. Now, obviously, holding the 50 period is one of those musts for me. The trade I have on similar to that is Snowflake. But I wanted to show you guys Upstart. So we'll be 1 for 3 on Upstart, but I should only have 2 trades on Upstart. And the biggest hit on Upstart was the one that I thought this was the best time to have it, but it broke the rule. But we did come back in, broke out the local high, so I just jumped out. And when you're going against the grain, I want tight stop. And if it works, I want to try to hold. I'll take some out in the scalp range, but I want to try to hold. When it breaks support, I want to hold to next level, generally speaking. Had it broken support, I'd have been looking down at 79 and 78, but it's still gliding higher and higher. Joseph saying a firm bounced like you thought it was going to. I keep hearing Cassava Sciences in my ear. Okay, what's going on here? Sava's going ham, so obviously there was a story. Cassava Sciences isn't going to just go from doing absolutely nothing to ridiculous amounts of volume and up almost $2 from the lows here without some kind of a story on Sava. So this is another big short float name. I'll look it up in a second. I just want to make sure we can see what the news is. That's it? It can't be it. HC Wainwright reiterates a buy with a price target of $116. $116 price target. It's at 27. If that's the news, it's doing all this volume on just that.
Tesla's going down.
Yeah.
Tesla, yeah, and again, let's go over some of those. I mean, if you guys have any news stories like that, let us know. We're trying to listen to them here on a relatively slow Thursday afternoon. I know it's Friday. All right, so there it is.
Good,
we got out there on. Well, I knew as I was saying it that I was wrong. I just continued. All right, so right there, Salesforce ripping, apparently. We'll look at that in a minute. We're going to go to Darren in just 1 second. I just want to say we got out of that. And look, since we've got out of Tesla, we still have 3% left. But look what it's doing. Wow. Wow. Like, okay. Remember we talked about that, man. There's going to be some like euphoric moments. And yeah, that might have been one of them right there. All right, Darren, what you got?
I was just about to bring up here that Salesforce move. So CRM, I think I brought this to you guys about 10 minutes ago. Initially, I'd seen this headline circulating on Twitter. They were looking to hire 1,000 people for part of this AI product push. So now I have the official headline coming here from Bloomberg News. Apparently, Mark Benioff, the CEO, has said that the company is going to be hiring here so they're going to be looking to hire 1,000 people to help push this new AI product here. It has a name too, Agent Force tool, this AI Agent Force tool. Apparently, this is part of the company's effort to take advantage of this AI momentum. Also, apparently, though, this is not the only company in the space working in this. Their rivals are doing this as well. But basically, CRM continuing to push higher here with a pretty notable increase in volume. On this story from Bloomberg, saying that CEO Mark Benioff and the company are looking to hire 1,000 people to help sell this AI product, guys.
Yeah, Benioff winning. That is
always. He's one of my favorite.
He's great.
He's one of my favorite CEOs of all time. That's why I bought it. I bought Salesforce a long time ago. Plus, it was a Kramer fave. But I was falling into that same trap as you. They're buying like big. It's not a trap, but like why I own Enbridge and Bank of Nova Scotia and XON.
I get it from my dad. That's
Softy. No, I mean I used to watch all those shows with my dad as well, and it was like
Kudlow and Kramer.
Watching, everything. Well, mine was more just Mad Money and just putting your money into the best of breed stocks, which is why I own J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Palo Alto. The list goes on. Apple, Google is my largest holding, NVIDIA. Like every single time I buy something, I'm buying it because I feel like it's close to. Tesla's another example. Palantir is another example. Like a best of breed situation. DraftKings is another example. And I said, like, I've lost a lot of money trading. Like I said, I showed Brendan actually, and I think I was showing Sharif too when he was there. Like I've lost thousands and thousands and thousands of money trading weed names in the account. Just never really worked out to try to do that, but we took shots on there. I just wish I could have, built it back. And even with crypto, like getting in and out of crypto, sending money to NFTs, sending money to ICOs and things like that, like initial coin offerings. Like I was throwing around Ethereum, like, you want 3 ETH? No problem. There you go. And then now you look back now, what? That's 10 grand? So it's like being able to hold something for a long time and believing in it has really been the creator of pretty much all of the wealth. Whether or not it's real estate in this world, people getting rich from that, holding it forever, passing it on, generational wealth. It has to be created by actually holding on to something. So I think that there are some plays there to do, and there's also plays of swing trades, right? So you got to be able to do that.
And try to separate the two. We've all been guilty of it. And I tell you right now, anybody that's been trading and investing, that's somewhat active doing it, if you've never turned a swing into a long-term bag hold, you probably aren't doing much, and everyone learns from those lessons. The best you can do is to learn from others' mistakes, right? Like that's why every time, like if I make a keystroke or like a bad entry, like I'll explain why I did it, why it was wrong, and then hopefully you can sort of gain from that, and then you celebrate the successes as well, like D-Loaf. Shout out to D-Loaf and appreciate the super chat. Love you, D-Loaf. Markets euphoric, trophy days all week. Wanted to take this time to thank you guys. Didn't know what a candlestick was summer 2022 when you found us. And now your account's up 4x since then. Trading and investing in equities, always room to grow. Much love. Much love to you, D-Loaf. Thank you so much. We got another one here from Scott Robinson. McDonald's, nice move today. Watching for the break above 302.70 on the daily into the gap. Negative news has subsided. I mean, look, ultimately, I'll never try to be, you can't be happy with what happened. And obviously, any loss of life is tragic. And I think one thing that might have gotten lost, that daily doesn't look very good. One of the things that might have got lost was how quickly McDonald's had actually gotten out in front of this right away, which I think is obviously the right thing to do. And it's not going anywhere. My only issue with them is they're not Chipotle. They're not Chipotle. And there's just so many other really fantastic growth places. And it's like McDonald's is good, but man, that Chipotle is great. You know what I mean? Like it's and I have nothing.
A little bit.
No, it's crazy because I've been guilty of that. Like you're in a good, stable producing stock, but meanwhile you look over and something else is just absolutely going ham. Like I was in mostly AMD and was a little bit. NVIDIA is my number one holding now, but I was a little bit late to the NVIDIA party because I was in mostly AMD. And you look over and I was in Walmart, does really well, but I was missing out in Costco the whole time. So I was always in that sort of a mode. Like you want that other thing. And nothing against McDonald's. It is trying to get back to its breakout on the weekly, but it's a bit of a, if you're into Head and Shoulders, the setup, I don't know if you're still into, if you like the shampoo, neither here nor there. 303, like it needs to get, I think it just needs to climb back above 300, 303, close above this, and then show that you're right back on track. Like it's still underneath what was the prior resistance for this recent breakout. So it's consolidating underneath, never even got to the 50. I'm talking about a weekly chart here. So I like what it's doing. It's still having, like I said, it's, at 303, there's no buying above 300. And I think that's always like, what does it look like when it gets to 300? Pre-market action, sell. Today, you get a massive move up, but there's no continuation from 300. You just get like the euphoric end of the buying and then back underneath. The good news is it doesn't always have to be that way. SoFi had the same thing going on at 12 bucks. And I'm only using SoFi as an example because I know it to be true. Like it would get to 12, fail, get to 12, but it's all pre-market buying, get to 12, do absolutely nothing. But if it's making higher lows while doing this, then the breakout can be good. So obviously SoFi is an example. It's totally different stock, but it's the same principle. Once you get past this 3 to 303 area on McDonald's, I think it can be good to go. And is McDonald's going anywhere? No, I don't think so. I just happen to think, Chipotle is probably a little bit better. And what was the IPO? Oh, it was
Kava.
Kava's the other one too. Kava, best IPO in a long time. Except, well, maybe Reddit. Yeah, Reddit might be just as good.
Reddit probably wins, but
yeah, Reddit probably percentage-wise.
Just
Reddit
because of
probably
that earnings report, but Kava probably wins. Actually, I don't know. All right, so here's McDonald's forward PE right here, 23. So their PE forward 23, their current PE right now 25, industry average way above that. CMG's PE is astonishingly high. So if you're looking for some sort of a value, then obviously you wouldn't be there. Here's some. Starbucks is only at 29. I prefer that. I like Starbucks. I think that's going to be a good opportunity to get that name into the long. But there's, I mean, I still like Chipotle. I just, sometimes off here at the Benzinga Pro platform, it shows you the sort of the comparables. Industry average.
Well, this is close.
That was a good one. Salesforce. All right, Salesforce trading higher. So let's go. Tesla, by the way, bam, off that 200 period. We don't have it, but wow, right there off that 200 period, 320. Good little look there for our friends in whoever's in Tesla that was able to buy that dip. Like, here's another best of breed name. I mean, Salesforce with Einstein. I mean, Salesforce is literally the symbol is CRM. You know, so there's going to be, there's another one that's out there. Not Red Hat. IBM already bought Red Hat. Anyways, the other one, oh, I forget what the name is. You guys will know. There's another Salesforce. It's not CRM. Oh, what is it? Okay, anyways, someone in the chat will get that to me. We used to have it around here. Anyways, okay, nice move up through 325. Again, like the stock here on CRM, but just continues to go higher. The story here is Salesforce trading higher after the company announced it will hire 1,000 people for an AI product that they're going to start pushing and developing more AI intelligence agents. So not only are you going to be employed building out new AI things, but you're also going to be building a tool that will eventually one day replace you. So there goes Salesforce, huge upside again. And just to everybody, good one. It wasn't ServiceNow, but that is a good one. ServiceNow is a good one. No, it's not Snowflake, but Snowflake, again, these are all great examples.
Well, I can't
probably ask my wife what it is. Hold on. I'm just going to find out what the big competitor here. You know what? I'm just going to do it right in here. I'm going to type.
That's ChatGPT.
Yeah, nah, hold on a second. I'm going to find her here. CRM.
By the way, Kava wins. It's close.
Yeah, okay.
Kava like barely beats Reddit, I think, if you bought it the IPO.
Kava does?
But it's like, it's actually the distinction without difference. So the last 10% of AMD.
HubSpot. There's a winner.
There you go.
Hugo Milialu. You do not win because your name was brutalized. But it's a winning spot right here, HubSpot. The first one, that is Hubs, I believe is the symbol. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Jay Lee and everybody. That is exactly what it was, HubSpot. So anyways, just another competitor. Hold, just let me, I think, is it HUBS? Just because we got it and I'll throw it back. Yeah, there it is. So HubSpot, we knew the symbol, no problem. This is another one that's just continuously, I mean, wait a minute, this looks like CRM. Wait a minute. Okay. I mean, boom. So they're all at these highs. So again, there's HubSpot again. So yeah, that was the other one. But CRM, I feel like was best of breed and continues to perform just as well, I guess, as HubSpot. But thanks for that, guys. You're right, HubSpot. But Snowflake, I'm in Snowflake, but not too many shares. I'm trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, I'm only in it recently and it was a technical, like a trade. For me on Snowflake. It was just breaking out off the 50 period. Like that same bottoming pattern that Toyota could be making. It broke out at 116. You know what, I'll just pull up the chart. So first, AMD, like we taking some out at 148.40, held on the last 10%, just wasn't going, broke out underneath that 148. So AMD started as a short, it's right back into a short, but I didn't want to be fighting it. It was just a trend reversion break. So if that doesn't explode, then that's not good enough. But as you mentioned, Snowflake there, just full disclosure, because we talked about this when we got into it. Yep. But, I'm still on Kava because I was trying to answer that question for everybody. Not that it matters. Like whether you own Reddit, whether you own Kava, you're absolutely happy regardless. So that's what it's all about. No, Snowflake was just here on the daily. It consolidated off the 50 period. Big downtrend, consolidated bottom, higher low. Break back above. Once it puts in the higher low at the 50 period and broke back above, I'm in it and stop out the prior low and looking for a push into the 200 period moving average. I mean, the first place I take profit is here in front of 130. I think I have an order out somewhere in there. Knowing myself, I probably put it at like 129.42 or something like that just because that's how I am. And then looking for it to get back in. I think it's more of a trade than anything else for me. on Snowflake.
Okay, let's check out DJT. Let's go back in this a little bit of trading mode as we always have fun talking stocks and all these kind of stuff like that with all of you. But DJT today, bang, 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 bang. Big win for the president today, it looks like, or the president is still Joe Biden. I said that to my wife yesterday. I'm like, all this talk, like, Joe Biden's still in charge here. Not that anything's going to happen in the next, 2 months that he's going to need to make a decision on. But I was just like, sort of one of those things that was left. We didn't really talk about it because he wasn't running, right? But anyways, it doesn't matter. All right, so DJT, a nice move up. There's a 200 period, still continuously going. We talked about that earlier. What a great trade this was. We're flat on this trade, little down. We talked about that. But just watching VWAP, and I really think, and we've gotten some great comments today. We've got some great comments from Jay Lee, D Loaf there, 4 times the account. I believe Coffee Trader messaged us and said that he got funded on Trade the Pool. So congratulations right there. That might be Brendan. That's pretty important to note there that some of our viewers are heading over there. So thank you, Coffee Trader, for getting funded on Trade the Pool. Let us know how the platform is and how you like it. But at the end of the day, this is a great stock to trade. And if we're going to talk about strategies on what we're doing, like trading, so first of all, nothing's going to work 100% of the time, right? I mean, this drop into VWAP here, that's right at 930. Although it worked on Tesla today, I feel like Tesla's a little bit of a different situation because we were at $300. But generally speaking, once the market gets open and it's starting to move around, if there's a stock that you like, you're waiting for pullbacks into VWAP. And it gave you one right here, and then it bounced up. There's the halt. We also talked about continuation plays through the halt. We got a little FOMO there and took this name after that breakout, and because everyone was screaming, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's go DJT, man. President Trump all the way. We saw, not all the way, but for as far as stocks are concerned, we saw Tesla going up. We saw some of these nuclear names going up. We've seen solar going down. All these big tech names starting to go up banks going up as we see regulations coming off or tightening or loosening, sorry. End of the day, DJT had a chance and didn't go. But look at this pullback again. Sure, we got out once it broke $30. Fine. It was live on the air. But coming back into VWAP, that might have been worth a dip buy. Just sitting here might have been worth a dip buy. And now you say, okay, we're so far away from VWAP, so then you use the next level. Those are the 200 periods, another dip buy possibility. But guess what? This is a break short. If this takes 31.50, I'm going short, and I got to go over and pay for it ASAP. I really like this trade here on a short for a potential move to the downside. So I'm going to go over there and pay for shorts. A break of 31.50 right here, this little level on DJT, I'm going short. So if you're with me, great. If you're not, great. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take that trade. We're going to figure out where it goes. But I like that trade right now on DJT, a little short through 31.50. I just do not believe I paid for shorts. So I'm just going to go over there and do it right now.
Still true.
And what time is it? 3:03. I feel fine about doing this. We didn't get involved in it last time until about this time of day. So we're going to take that 31.50, just checking. I paid for SMCI shorts and didn't trade them. So, all right, I'm going to go buy some. It's like $10 for 1,000 shares or something. It's not very expensive.
Might be less.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll update everybody once I get them.
Yeah, let's just go. I think we got to go over to the desk with Adara.
We do?
Yes?
This part of the show is brought to you by Firefly Neuroscience. Firefly Neuroscience has taken a bold step in advancing brain health technology. In collaboration with Bright Minds Biosciences, Firefly's innovative AI-powered platform has successfully analyzed data from a groundbreaking phase 1 clinical trial using advanced EEG technology to track brain activity. This data unlocks new potential in treating neurological and mental disorders, reinforcing Firefly's position at the forefront of brain health innovation. As they prepare for phase 2, this partnership signals exciting developments for the future of neuropsychiatric treatments. Firefly Neuroscience, shaping the future of brain health.
Pushing to 30. Yeah, I mean, I know why I paid for SMCI locates and didn't use them, because I was looking for a continuation of the last 2 days and a press into the $30 level to look for like a mean revert trade. Like, it was bouncing. I felt like, given that they still have issues going into the weekend, if it was bouncing, that there'd be some risk off anyone that bought that dip, and then you could play that, but it didn't even go up. It just went to the downside. But I like that DJT play, and when DJT didn't go down, I never traded fun. Like, my plan of action was, I lost on DJT. Like, it's my worst stock today for sure, and I had it actually twice. I guess if I had kept it at 1, it would have been fine. But it bounced off. When it bounces off VWAP and keeps making higher lows, it just never broke down, and I never got an opportunity to go into Funware, which is down 9%. They reported, by the way, Funware last night. And trading down underneath VWAP. I feel like if DJT starts to go down, this is the one, whether it's breaking 570 or consolidation. So I might put those two up in terms of looking for a trade there. I just heard go NVIDIA. Even this is under VWAP and barely moving. And this is sort of the thing, like, there's not a heck of a lot moving. That's why we tried to look over to see what Cassava Sciences was up to. Although you're not kidding me to chase a move when the reason that a name like Sava is up is because they got like a little bit of an upgrade. I don't know, I'm skeptical for that one. CRM went further than I expected, but I do like this. If DJT falls apart, I can go back to an idea that I was looking for this morning, which is if it breaks support and breaks trend, I can get Funware shorting off of VWAP. So I think that looks pretty good to me. Other zinc, I expect SMCI to be in the 30s. I don't know that I expected to be in the 30s. I just felt a continuation looked like it could get to 30 today, just based on what it did yesterday and the pattern the last couple of days. It ended up not happening. You know, if I thought confidently SMCI was going to get there, I'd be long. I just thought it was a short if it got there. That's all. And that's a very different thing. Oftentimes we get that question, oh, you're dip buying NVIDIA at X price. Why don't you just go short? Well, because I don't like the short. I think there's buy supply and support at a level, so I want to buy it at that price. It has nothing to do with expecting it to get there. Otherwise, you just take that trade every single time. So yeah, I don't really see anything right now in SMCI altogether. But DJT and this Funware, probably worth a look. Tesla is still, like, you're not even...
You could go long off that 200. I just don't know.
It's even the support at...
What do you guys want us to look
321.
That's the level.
Others says NVIDIA breaks 150 by end of day.
No.
No.
I already looked at that.
No chance. I'm like, do I want it to break 150? Of course I do. I just can't see any way. It's not at VWAP. There's no volume. There's no activity. It's a Friday, remember. There's going to be an obvious, like there's got to be, I haven't looked, but I'm sure there's a tremendous amount of volume on the 150 strike. I mean, come on. After yesterday and this morning, and sometimes if you don't make that break early, the odds of you making a break to that price on a Friday, it's pretty slim, I think, here on NVIDIA. I wish it would happen. I just don't see any way.
Yeah, so you remember what I was saying about Palantir? And I know Neil just had it up.
I was just looking.
You were just looking at it. Yeah, I just saw someone in the chat do it too as well. What's up, Nina? What up, Nina? Actually, I like that name, Nina, actually. All right, so, yeah. Like, I sold some at 58.10. All right. Huge move up. I think Palantir continues to work, man. We talked about this with, I know what I was going to do. I meant to show this earlier. We sort of got off of it. I want to thank Brian Shannon for continuously being a weekly guest for us. This guy's been there's all my Tesla trades. This guy's been absolutely fantastic, and he's also posting it up. And he actually was talking about, we were looking at one of my trades when he was on, and you know, we think Roblox, this is before earnings, Affirm and Upstart were all ready to go. This is him tweeting this out when he was on our show. Talking all about this. So again, thanks Brian for all that kind of stuff. I was talking about SMR and all this thing. So over 30,000 views right now on this tweet. So I want to say thank you to Brian for coming on. Like, here we go. Joseph, he watched it on there as well. Thanks to Brian and everything. So a lot of love for Trader TV Live and a lot of love for Brian Shannon. I want to thank him for continuously providing us with some nice new moves and whatnot. But we talked about it. I said, what about Palantir? And it was this day here when it went up to $50. I said, we're on an island up here because we've broken through. What are we going to do? And he's like, these are actually good problems to have. And obviously he's right. Continuous move up. And the name that he gave to us, and I'm still in this name too, thankfully, and that is, why didn't that just switch? I just switched it to Roblox, RBLX.
Gotta hit it twice.
The other name was Roblox, and you could see here, I'm actually thinking about getting more, believe it or not. If we can come, believe it or not, blah, blah, it's not at home. Where's that from? Oh, George Seinfeld.
I would be gone.
All right.
Or I pick up the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Where could I be?
Where am I? All right, yeah, wow. I was actually going to say something to Marissa. I was like, Like sometimes we'll have a bottle of wine, but I think if I had one tonight, I'd be falling asleep after first glass. I'm exhausted. What a busy week it's been. But I think Roblox here at $50 is a great opportunity. So that would be another name there to have a quick little look at there. Oh, by the way, ciao Tesla. It's been a nice little movement for you. There it is. We're out of Tesla right there. We take our last piece out for flat as it breaks through 320. But oh boy, did we add on to that. So just so you guys know, we added about 25% of our net from this move just in this $6 move here. So we add, actually maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe about 30% more. Maybe more, maybe 35% more or so onto our net from this initial play, early 298 longs on Tesla, where we had it. We still had some when it came up here, but then we busted out more. So there it goes. So nice upside and then finally breaking. And what an out these were on Tesla. Sometimes your outs, you look back and you're like, wow, that saved me.
Just as important as the ins.
I think
and
even
sometimes,
more important.
Actually, well, on a breakout trade, more important because a breakout's a breakout. On a dip buy, styles are different. On a dip buy, I think the entry on a dip buy is supremely important. But on a breakout trade, your outs are what it's all about. Just for
years on long this though.
ODXYZ.
Yeah, so this was you could talk about this too. I've been talking a lot, but This was that name that has SpaceX in it.
Yes, everything Elon.
You know, DXYZ, so everything Elon. This is up 47% today. Maybe we've been saying this for a long time, maybe on Monday, we could take some of these super chats and do a Starbucks run because my girl's been working real hard over there. And she told me earlier today that today felt like a matcha day and we forgot during the midday to go get some matchas. So thank you for this. We have $80 right here in combined. So I think we can put some ones up in the chat if you guys want us to go get Ramin a matcha there. And our girl Adara loves that as well. Maybe we'll get that on.
Make Ramin ask for it on the show.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do that. I mean, I think that we got to support, of course, who's running this account right here? Live trading by
I can't imagine who that might
Live.
be.
This is spam. Bears versus Bulls, block this person.
You've got Bears versus Bulls, you know what to do.
I don't think you're able to block it. I'm going to put the ban hammer on.
You can't ban and admin, I don't think.
Anyways, I'm just playing around. We can easily just get that. We can go get to Starbucks ourselves, but I just want to say thank you.
I can try.
It just reminded me that we do have our team over there. And I don't know if you guys have, no one's been here, but some people have. There's no windows here at all. So,
on the trading floor side.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I look around, I don't see any windows. So I just want to say, it is tough to sit in that cave over there. So Ramin and Fabian, thank you so much. Although under these lights, do not look up or else. Oh, by the way, here we go. Spin it. Money, I hope you guys are short. The reversion man behind us, he's there. I don't know if he's short. You actually were looking at a short there that neither of us have it, but you're telling us how it was lining up.
Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you, and I'll tell you, there was an afternoon show where I love like pop and fade, like, that kind of thing, mean reversion, that kind of an idea. And there was one day when Obi and I were going over a Spotify one, and we had two separate entries. And when I was comparing both of them, they both worked, but it didn't matter. And I started liking the strategy. I'm doing it on Rivian now, but on Tesla, I have to show you what it looks like on Tesla. But first, Rivian, high, let me show you 15-minute chart. There you go, 1060. And we said this morning, I was like, wake me up when Rivian can get over $10.60. So I'm not, it's been holding 10 for a long enough time that going from 10 to 1050 doesn't impress me anymore. When the stock starts breaking 1060 and $11, better. That said, it just went parabolic strong off a high break into the top, which is in front of 1060, curls in front of 1060, closes underneath the trend line, short in, give it to the high. But I'll tell you right now, there's some dude, and we have, the show is a great show, but there's some guy who was like, don't mean revert Tesla. I don't remember who said that, but whoever they were, a fool. Because if you look at it from that last breakout, this is what that same strategy looks like from the last break of the high. There it is. It's trending up, holding trend, loses trend. There is your local, whether you use the prior bar high, 327.15, or you give it to the wick, 327.57, so 50 cents extra risk. It closes underneath. You're short somewhere in here at 26. That's where the entry ends up. It's going to, it might get to VWAP. It's headed toward VWAP. That's the patient looking short. I did try it this morning and I had a flat trade on it. mostly because I got some out for $1 and then just held the rest. But it broke back out, and ultimately it is going to head to the downside. But that's the idea, like have an execution strategy. Rivian, will it work? I don't know. Tesla just pulled back. If I don't hit save, the trend line disappears. So you guys saw it before. So we're into Rivian, give it to the top. Going to look to play it back into 10. The prior high here, it is already 315. A VWAP retrace. A VWAP retrace is probably asking a lot at this time of day.
All right, everybody. This is going to, I don't know how to make this come across any better, but Neil's going to be away for the next 6 days. All right. And right now we only have 4,100 likes, 4,100 views. We need 4,100 likes. We only have 340 likes. So let's wish Neil a happy, extremely eventful, because you're going to be, I told you about this. Fun. You're going to be eating a lot, hopefully. A lot of great food there. Remember, tell Aaron
gelato
from my kids that every o'clock is gelato o'clock. So anytime she looks at a clock, she should probably have gelato. So go get that. There's some great places to go there. I think we've told you a couple already. So go into their gelatorium or something.
Marissa sent like a list.
There's also a place that has like literally 15,000 different gelatos. You can get like any flavor. It's absolutely amazing. She'll go in there and be like, what the hell?
I might have packed on.
She'll be like, these beaches in Antigua are nice, but this is something else. Pack stretchy pants. But what I'm trying to get at is, there it is. Okay, we've already got double right now, but let's come over to the screen right here. We need to get a lot more. So let's wish him a safe, happy, healthy, all that kind of stuff. So let's go. 600 likes right now. Yeah, no problem. Let's get going over 1,000 and we'll get it right there. The only thing is, unfortunately, Neil's not going to be replaceable, but we'll try with Obi. So Obi will be here next week with me all week. And then Sharif and Adara and everybody, the midday show, will stay the same. Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
And you guys, there's still good earnings to go through. I mean, there's a lot to unpack. Although this time, you're not going to catch me going on a trip during NVIDIA earnings. Right. NVIDIA is after I come back. I done messed that up when we went to Paris.
Oh, okay.
It was the week of it. And the only time I checked my phone for the markets when I was in Paris was the day of NVIDIA earnings. I was on my phone when we were at dinner. And Rebecca's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's NVIDIA, sweetheart. This matters. And then that was the one they blew out. It blew it out of the water.
You mean you weren't in London on August 5th?
Oh, well, yeah, that day was, I'm frustrated by that day. I told you about
I'm in DJT.
I told you about the 200.
I'm in DJT.
On Apple that
all right, DJT, let's go. All right, I'm going to take a little piece off right now. We'll take off literally 5%. Let's get 10%. Let's get 10% out if we come into 31 flat. We just shorted there. We talked about shorting this break. I think this could be game over for the day. Let's just wait to see. Could be completely wrong. Obviously, we take so many shots here that this is what's going to happen. So there's the short. We just went in there and paid for these shares. So we got it. We got it good. And we're going to wait to see where it goes from here. So we'll just sit in this. Hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit of a bid here. We only took out like literally 2% there. I actually keystroked. I meant to get out a little bit more. So we'll put a bid down there now at 31.10 if we get a little bit of a flush. But notice there is size here at 31.21. Shouldn't matter that much. This name is SSR because it's been down. Okay, let's go. We're bidding 10s right now. This is a trade that we put on. I mean, again, let's see if it holds. I don't know what it's going to do, but at the end of the day, I like the trade. This stop, why not give it to right here, 32.10. So let's go, 32, 15s. We'll get out of all of it if it goes down there, but right now, we're reloaded right now on DJT, so let's see what happens here. It's only 25 cents in the money, but we're obviously looking for a little bit lower targets on this. Obviously, if my stop's good, we don't have a big position. If our target is up here, 32.10s, that would give us about 60 cents worth of risk. I don't think there'll be too much slippage. So where's this next level just looking at it? I mean, VWAP is 30 flat. So we'll just start to take some bids out if we can get them on the way down, right? We'll play it as is. So that's 30.50. Let's put a bid at 30.50 and see if, here comes DJT right now. We're bidding 31.10 with a bigger position. We'll get out of a third of it at 30.50. So let's go DJT. Bring it on down right now. And then there's another trade brought to you by @TraderTV Sean that we listed. We gave it to you. Bang. We'll go there. So really happy with this trade. It's DJT and it's for another dub right here. So, oh yeah, about that one stock that we were red on. We'll hold this and see if it can go a little bit lower. All right, DJT, you want to print these levels? All right, then we'll get some more out at 01s, of course. Bang, bang, bang. We're doing it again, Neil. We're doing it again. We talked about good vibes from Sharif here. Again, we give good vibes. We get good vibes. We hit the like button on the chat. We're doing all that. We're doing everything here. We're hosting. We're trading. We're bigging up the channel. What else can we do? You got any ad reads for me? We're ready. We're on fire right now. Let's go. It's a big day trading, and we just put some icing on the cake right there. Tesla, I don't even know what it's at, but probably.
This segment brought to you by Good Vibes and Trading and Trader TV Live. No, there isn't.
There is no ad there. Okay.
No,
well, if anybody wants,
there isn't an actual ad. We're just having fun. Again, there is no actual ad.
Fun, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, Fun is SSR as well. So when that breakdown happened, Fun also broke.
What are we even doing?
We're trying to get this one in here. So I didn't get to fill when it broke, but I'm just going to sit on the offer and wait for an uptick. And if it rolls over, my plan was to just join on a break of supply on Funware. So I'm only in Rivian, but let's see how it goes to the downside. Yes, Darwin, we remember the good old days. Every time we do ad reads, everyone seems to love the good old days. But that's what it's all about. So I'm going to do the play that I was looking for the second we lost support on DJT, which was to jump into Funware and then see if it can follow along to said downside. So let's get it down. It is 320. Someone was saying Tesla at VWAP, so I was going to have a cursory look at that.
Bye-bye, DJT.
Hit enter again. It's not at VWAP yet, but if it gets to VWAP, I think this should have no trouble dragging Rivian down with it. So that setup that I like. The market's starting to roll over. You're still seeing a little bit of consolidation. Once it breaks the shelf, again, get in the trend. When it breaks the shelf, I want to take advantage instead of trying to get the shelf break. Ideally, just already be in it and have it try to come down. Tesla could bounce off VWAP, but we'll see. I'd rather have it drag down Rivian first.
All right. DJT. Short, all live trading. I mean, again, you're going to see people, and I hear like OB and all these guys, a lot of people talk about, there's this trader, there's that trader, but let's just be perfectly honest. I mean, every single trade that I'm putting on, and I like to say there's nobody else that's doing this, and I think I'm right. There's nobody else doing this. Like, this is live trading. Like, really? Like, is someone else doing this right now? This is $1 right there, right down to VWAP where we said we'd be sitting, and now we only have left a third. We only have a third left of this trade. So, again, if someone else is doing it, like to meet them, and love to have them on the show to talk about it, the difficulties of trading live while hosting a show. But, yeah, there it is. There's another trade right there for you. Out, out, out. And remember I said all we did was zoom back out, and we were like, where are we going to sit? Where are we going to sit? We could go to Adair at any moment because, when she first sat on the desk, I told her live, I brought her up on that stage. I said, don't listen to anything else. Just put VWAP on your charts. All right? And I mean, honestly, this break had nothing to do with anything other than looking at the chart, finding this level. Not everybody's going to take it, right? I mean, Neil and I sit here on the same desk. I have one trade sometimes. He has other trades other times. It is what it is. But this is a good one. We just put this on for you out of a third. That was a third of a trade. So all of these totaled 1/3. That's another third. We still have a third on. So let's see if we could break a little bit lower. But we are really, really happy with performances so far here today. And I just hope that you guys are as well, as we could sit here and talk about these trades and hopefully be able to put on some winners for you and have a good time at the same time. And that's really what it's about, right? I mean, it's about having a good time and being able to put these winners on. So far, so good. We'll just continue to sit in this and see what happens to DJT, now 70 cents in the money.
Good look over there. And Tesla doesn't get to VWAP, by the way. It bounces well in front of it. Derek Thompson, thank you for teaching how to be a better trader. Thank you for tuning in and continue to do so, Derek. That's what it's all about. You're always just trying to improve. Like, I'll tell you, when you are a trader, it's a lonely, lonely business, man. Like, we sit here and we joke about there being no windows and all that stuff, but you sit there in front of your own screen with your own ideas. That's why we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that, so we can all try to learn from each other. So shout out to you. Shout out to the entire community. Let's just try to get better every single day. So like I said, Tesla did not get to VWAP, and it's bouncing. I wanted it going to VWAP because both the plays I have on are like kind of sympathy-ish plays. Like, Tesla rolls over, Rivian breaks trend. The second Tesla caught a bid, The second it caught a bid, Rivian started going higher. Like almost instantly. Like it's not like it's, okay, it could be a little bit program related. Maybe the algos decide to pick it back up again, but not gonna move stop or anything just because I want it to work. The play is to the high. We're in at 48. The top here is obviously sitting at 54, so you can probably guess where the stop is gonna be. And then the other one didn't do it this morning, obviously in Funware. I completely whiffed on the chance to short Funware here, and I have and I'll show you the reason why I'm mad about this. The reason I'm mad about it, the reason I whiffed on shorting Funware when DJT pulled back is because I was going long DJT in that moment. So when I got out of DJT for the L down here, the chance to get in Funware was gone. Like I would have been shorting it at the bottom. And ultimately, I probably could have rolled back into it on the bounce. At that point, I was actually looking for places to get back into DJT instead of sticking with the plan, which was when DJT pulls down, just get into Funware. So now Fun is at this little bit of a shelf. If it breaks 570, I have 65, 60, and the low of the day is 550 on Fun. It's almost 330. I'm not expecting a heck of a lot on the imbalances, but yesterday we were surprised by a few, so I just want to keep it up. That said, you had the index action with Sherwin-Williams and who was it? It was Dow Chemicals, right? So that was really the reason for the big ones. Oddly enough, on the early look, oh no, to the sell side, BlackBerry 5 million. My guess is something is probably happening with BlackBerry for it to have done 6 million shares today and already have a 5 million sell imbalance. I'm just going to go look it up. It's probably, I don't know, it's not getting deleted, but.
No.
Something has to be going on with BlackBerry.
Yeah, I don't think it's a deletion. I mean,
it would be out of any index that it would have been
where
already.
Would it be deleting from?
Yeah, there's nothing, you can't delete it anymore. It wouldn't be in an index.
All right, well, we'll check that out. So good luck there. Neil will get on that, obviously, ASAP, and we'll figure out what's going on with that index or that indexing there. Possible. We have no idea. If it does come through, we'll get that to you basically ASAP. All right, so just DJT. So we just took another piece. It is now officially $1 in the money. So there you go. We took a 42 fill. We'll see if we can get anything better than that. But for right now, it is starting to go to the downside a little bit here with DJT. So I do actually have another bid. So my next bid is $30 flat. So $30.11. Sorry, we're just trying to bid a little bit ahead of that area there. So just kind of going everywhere, making sure that we are okay with what we're doing. And trading and just having the right levels and all that kind of stuff. So here we come. You know what? I'm gonna take another piece right now. I just put a bid at 35, hands off. If we get that fill, great. That'll be $1.10. There you go. We're holding that level. All right. I'm not holding anything. All right. Well, we just saw me on the bid there, so it didn't fill. So we'll see if we can get back down. All right, so that's DJT going on that. Let's just see what's going on elsewhere, right? NVIDIA continues to sing today, but it's down. So with the NASDAQ being flat on the day, NVIDIA down 1%. So that's kind of funny because started the day as like one of the darlings and we were waiting for that 150 to break. And then all of a sudden that doesn't happen. Look, I think the emperor has clothing, but at the same time, like, there is something happening. I mean, NVIDIA is coming to the downside. We could check out what SMH is doing. I wonder if there's more money being switched over into
AMD is still falling.
Possibly. That was sort of the key there that I was thinking about for AMD. But there's SMH. I've really loved this. Obviously, as a semiconductor, I do hold some of this ETF, but I piled everything into NVIDIA. Actually, I don't think I own any AMD. I don't think I own really any other semis other than this. I was going to buy Intel. I feel like it's too late for that, but there's SMH. Let's see what AMD is doing today. A lot of people think there's a catch-up trade happening in AMD, meaning that, you know, if you're short it right now, it's everything else. Broadcom, not ARM, but Broadcom. ARM is different than these, but Broadcom's up near 52-week highs and all-time highs. Sorry, so is NVIDIA. It's AMD that's well off. So if you are thinking about maybe catching something at some point, maybe there is an AMD sort of opportunity to buy this. I really like the stock down here at 140. All right, there goes DJT. We just got that bid at 30.35. So my next stop is 30 teens, and it was 30 11s. So far, so good there on DJT, which was a stock that I was red on. Now is P&L number 3 or whatever. So good stock there for DJT. But we didn't take very many shares each time, but this is paying off because this is $1 in the money. And we called it down to VWAP. So again, we don't have that crystal ball or anything, but this was a good call all the way down into VWAP for DJT. So let's just continue to watch that one. Tesla. All right. Well, if you're a VWAP trader, we say that all the time. That would have been a good little level there, right? I mean, yeah, that's good enough. If VWAP's at 316, honestly, and this goes down to 316.70s, I think you got to take it on a move when we've had a $40 move today in Tesla. So that's probably worth it. Hopefully some of you guys got that. And then I am now, I got to do the math, like about 15% left on DJT. So hopefully that will come out. Yeah, is Taiwan semi? We can look at that.
I guess you have it up. It's actually, yeah, that one's pretty gone. Like, I think that if the notion was a catch-up trade, I don't see how Taiwan would, TSM would, it doesn't make any sense as a catch-up trade. It's pretty much at highs. So, like, on the weekly, this is just as good. Now, obviously, there was a little bit of a hiccup. They pulled back after the election, but yeah, like the argument for AMD, which I'll admit to, I think it's been a little bit of a depressing name. The argument to AMD is it's trying to catch up, but then it's pretty expensive on a price to earnings basis. So it's like, okay, that doesn't necessarily bode well for it that it hasn't had that rally. The good news is you have a very clear trend, which it's trying to break back out of, which is a wedge pattern on the weekly chart. So if it can, I mean, I could draw trend lines for you, but it's pretty easy for you to be able to see. Like, see that bottom trend, and now it's got a top one in there. So it forms a bit of a wedge, closes on the weekly above, break it out the top, and Bob's your uncle on AMD. But it is just distinctly different from almost every single chart that I've looked at. I saw some people mentioning this IOND. I don't really know too much about it, but the list of names that are doing this is absolutely insanity. Rivian, as I said, the second Tesla caught that bounce. This is our in. It's starting to roll over. Looked like everything was good. Tesla hits VWAP, and boom, it takes out the high. That's where my stop is. One of the reasons I like this type of a trade is because it's very defined. Like, I'll never find myself getting in here and then it starts doing this and like, ooh, well, let's get more here. Let's get more as it goes up. No, I know my entry is here and here alone, and in that consolidation, and my stop is up there 10 times out of 10. My targets are usually there, and then probably all the way down to VWAP. So I like the fact that it's a definable trade. It fits my style very much, and I know my loss is going to be like a small hit, like 5-6 cents in this case. But I do believe we have to go over to the screen with Adara for a little sector watch.
We'll take a look here at these larger movers to the upside and the downside on the S&P 500, as we usually do every day around this time during Power Hour. I like to have a theme for this segment, and given that the S&P 500 did reach 6,000 for the first time, I want to take a look at some names that are actually lagging or underperforming on the day. So first off, we have Dow, D-O-W. This is Dow Chemical, down about 4% here. They were, of course, removed from the Dow Jones Industrial Average as of today and being replaced by Sherwin-Williams, getting a price target decrease from Piper Sandler this morning in tandem with that removal. Now we have CAT. This is Caterpillar, down about 3+% today. Anthony Facino, who is a group president here in the company, so I guess an executive role, has just executed a sale here, selling $2.16 million worth of options at Caterpillar. So 8,000 contracts from what I'm seeing. Big insider sale for CAT. Last but not least, CE. This game got hit really hard on earnings Monday after the close. Celanese is getting a downgrade today from Piper Sandler, downgrading and lowering its price target here to $98 with an underweight rating. So just because the S&P 500 is strong doesn't mean there aren't a lot of laggards, guys.
Looking at you, Uber.
Yeah, what was Uber doing?
Oh, well, I mean, it was probably
down
never
10%. Oh, no,
2%. Was it going to have a good day when Airbnb was down? I don't know. Like, Uber was weak yesterday when Lyft blew it out of the water. So I was never expecting Uber was going to have a fantastic day. I would have at least thought it could have held on to 73, but yeah, it is what it is. Lyft had big earnings. That's the reason for this spike on Uber, and then you saw it fall apart. I didn't really look back at Airbnb. I'm not sure where that one is, but I own Uber. That's why it kind of stinks. They're right at the low of the day. So there always going to be, in a day where there's things, the market is up. What are we up? Oh, no, sorry. We were just up. Now the NASDAQ just turned red. The ES is still up 1/3%, but the NASDAQ actually just turned red. But where Tesla's going crazy, yeah, like a couple of seconds ago it was positive, but barely. But in days where you have at least some strength in the market and things running like Tesla's running and so many big runners that we've been looking at all day long, you are going to find some laggards in there. Just a quick update. Fund bounces off first support. there's no reload unless DJT continues to roll back over as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm looking for it to break shelf and fall into the low. Those imbalances, BlackBerry does not have any action that I'm aware of. It's just randomly a 4 million sell. So, as I said, it hasn't really done that much volume, and it's only a $2 stock, but it's 6.6% open interest into a 7 million volume on the day in BlackBerry, and it's completely sideways, and it might just be chilling out at a 2-day high when that sell imbalance goes live at 350. If that's the case, like, there is possibly the chance to just try to short it off the high. You could maybe get 32s, and again, it's 15 minutes till the imbalances come out, but you could maybe get 32s, look for a pullback into VWAP if that sell imbalance is genuine. So I'm going to have BlackBerry up on the off chance that this ends up being real at 330, or sorry, at 350. And shout out to you, Drop Trades. Thank you so much. Have a great trip. Be safe. Enjoy it with the family. That's what it's all about. I mean, I appreciate all the love. Like, you know, Sean and Marissa, that's Sean's wife, been really gracious. And a lot of people that have also gone to Rome have given me so many tips, where to eat, what to do. I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to miss, obviously I miss the markets, but family time, you know, like, that's the best time. And creating memories with my daughter is about it. She's so psyched for this trip. We didn't take her to Paris last year. We never heard the end of that one because, you know, Paris is what it is. So she's looking so much forward. She's looking so forward to it. Like, she's like, show me pictures of this and that. I'm like, we're going to see it for real, sweetheart. You don't have to look at a picture of the Coliseum. We're going to see. No, I'm straight up. She's like, what does it look like? I'm like, we're going, sweetie. We're going to see it. But she just wants to get that look.
Yeah, it looks the same as the picture, but it is.
I tried to explain to her, imagine if we're the Jays play, like the Dome. I don't really call it the Rogers Center. Imagine if that was still standing 2,000 years from now. It won't be, but that's what you try to picture for the Coliseum. Can't wait. Wow. Upstart is just,
Oh, man. Yeah, what is it up now? How many?
I'm only upset because it was on, like, I just missed the breakout. This is up, where is it? Load. I did it like 3 times. 47% and back at the high of the day. 47%. When Affirm bled today, and these guys just kept on going higher and higher. So it's crazy because it's not like the report was nuts. Like, they just had a smaller loss than expected. Really, like, that's pretty much it. Let's go over to the desk with Adara, and by the time Upstart will be at 100 probably.
This part of the show is brought to you by eSignal. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite trading experience. You can analyze, strategize, and capitalize, and foresee profitable opportunities through the platform that meets your needs. We also have infinite data and instant trading, so you can know where the market's moving before others with lightning fast data. There's also charts that change the game, so you can customize and analyze the markets faster in your own way. There's also better backtesting and scanning to help you predict the future by understanding the past. eSignal also has reliable real-time data, which can give you up-to-the-second market info from hundreds of global markets. There's everything you need all in one place. Don't miss a beat. Execute your best trades now. Are you ready to elevate your trading? Just scan the QR code or check the link in the description.
All right, thank you, Ms. Adara. So when we said that we only had a couple percentage points left of DJT, we really didn't mean that. We got another fill that we got the fill that we wanted. We talked about that. We took another fill right here at $30.70 as we sort of broke that shelf back up right there. So that got us out again. So right now I have exactly 10% left. So I feel pretty good about that and how we've sort of left that to trade. So that's a good one. You know, if we break the 50 period, I'm not going to use that to be exact. You could do that to get out for flat. I'm just going to use 50s as our out. So I'm going to cancel that initial trigger and then get out because you know what? This could run into the close, right? We'll use 3161s, get out of that one. Will we have maxed it out? No, but pretty darn close, man. I mean, these were much bigger outs here as we approach. I mean, when we hit our target, we said our first target was 30.50. Then we said our next target was VWAP. So we put orders there. We stood in front of it and took them. So that's that. And just like, you know, in our own PAs, you know, you sit out there, you get that SMR fill at 25, you get Tesla where you get Tesla. Like, it's just all of this happens and you just take it and you get out. So that's what we did there. It looks like it's going to be right. There's the break of the 50 period. Everybody can get out of that if you wanted to. I'm going to give it a little bit more room. You know what? I'll actually put a third of what we have left. So again, another 3% down there at around 12s. Just put it in right now. Hopefully that will print for us and we'll be able to do a little bit there on DJT. back down in. How many likes do we even have? I did that little thing there to try to get us some more. Did I? Oh, here.
I always have to refresh.
Yeah, we always have to refresh. Let me see. I already refreshed. 800 likes. Thank you. So we started that little thing. We're over 300. So right now, almost more than double, but not quite triple. So if you are watching, over 4,000 of you are doing that. Stay late with Adair and I. We'll do some Q&A. You can ask Adair whatever you want. You can ask me whatever you want as well. We'll be in the chat there after. We'll wrap up the week, talk about Fed, talk a little bit about some of the...
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
We did this when Raider was on. It was, which I mistakenly thought that was 2 weeks ago we had Raider on. I'm like, oh, it's been so long. It's been that kind of...
Yeah. Oh,
that's how it is.
Yeah.
So one stock, but you have to hold it for exactly 1 year. You can't sell it a week from now. You can't sell it 10 years, but exactly 1 year. What's the pick?
You're right, Sebastian. I was the first one to like it. Well, my pick's always the same. So let me think about something else. Ooh, I just swallowed that water.
Wrong pipe. Yeah, wrong.
Yeah, a little bit of wrong pipe there. Ooh. One stock. Well, it would be NVIDIA. But I've already said that.
I think, yeah, because Raider...
It depends what the point is.
We all didn't pick things that were, like, obvious. Like, I think he went with XBI. That's what he liked.
Okay, well,
mine was Viking when we did it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it depends on what we're doing. So you know what I would think about? Yeah, like, let me pick a name that I'm not really in that much. I'll say Rivian.
Okay.
Because I think that would have a chance if everything works out for Rivian. They came out with a good quarter. They talked about supply chain. That's a good problem to have because it's easy to fix. I wouldn't have said that in 2020, but look at Rivian. I didn't even realize it was up right here. Rivian's up 7%, like 6.5%, sorry, and still going.
Everyone has something here.
So yeah, I mean, it's good.
SMCI.
Good topic, right? I mean, a lot of people are going to have some ideas.
Look at some of the names in here. Costco.
Yep.
SMCI, Alibaba. SVXY. Funware.
Yep.
Okay. SMR, let's go. SOUN, SMCI again. Palantir, I expected to see a little more Palantir there. IWM, no, he went IWM. It was the other one. He liked two ETFs. It was IWM, not XBI. Although he liked, I think it's because he probably had talked a lot about XBI and didn't want to say it again. DJT, someone just said. Tesla, Intel, that's interesting. You know what? Intel is showing a lot of signs that it can't get any worse, to be honest with you. Like, I can't necessarily disagree with that. And it's only 1 year, so you're kind of getting it at a bottom, too. I kind of like that. TSM in there. What else we got here? There's another Palantir. Rivian is still losing $37,000 a vehicle. SoFi, SoFi there. Hertz? Okay, Doge. Now you guys are just trolling.
No, Doge is fine.
Oh, what was that? What was the Doge
SPIR?
Stock? SPIR. This was the one. It's a Canadian stock here, SPIR, that is basically just like it's like the Doge version of MSTR.
Yep.
And it's up another 20. This is what it looks like. Trump wins the election.
I mean, you could pick Bitcoin. Honestly,
yeah, well, I saw someone say Bitcoin.
Or yeah, you could just choose IBIT or whatever.
I like that. IBIT, ASML. I like ASML. They're having a really tough time with it, ASML. When you pull this one up.
Smells nice, yeah.
No, I like where it's at. Like, this is I think it's a good play too. Like, it's right on the weekly, it's at the 200 period moving average. Like, at some point, you cannot make advanced chips without them. You just can't do it. You know, in that regard, it makes sense they're going to catch a bit, but it's all the Chinese risk. That's all it is right now. It's getting crushed for it. At some point, you'll think it'll turn around. It's breaking higher. Okay, let me just.
Well, DJT, yeah. I don't know if you're in fun. Well, you are in Funware. So
it didn't go. Like
go ahead. I mean, I was just gonna props it up. I mean, we were red on DJT. So what we were red, we just doubled or made it back and then doubled. So tripled, I guess, our net on DJT because the math doesn't make sense because we were red on it. But at the end of the day, like if we were down $10, then we're now up $30 or whatever that is. So it's a nice move there for DJT back there to the upside. So again, good. And look what it did. I've already gone on so many little rants today. And I mean, join the club. It's every day. But what level did I say we should be buying and selling on all the time? I mean, VWAP is right there. So there's another perfect example of what to do. And we just got to, and again, trading in the wild, and you know, we respect and appreciate the lessons of the day and everything like that. But sometimes when you're sitting here and it's trading live, it's like you got to put these orders in because if you don't do it, then, and this is what I'm saying, it's like when we look at it back, it's easy to say, okay, why didn't we do this? You got to put the orders because you'll miss the trade. That's what I'm getting at. It's not the idea. It's about putting the orders there. Like I had an order at 30.50. One of them I took when it was coming down, and I was like, oh my God, we got to get some of this. The other one we sat there and took, and we sat there and took the VWAP trade. Because if it's part of your plan, you need to be able to execute it. And it's just like there's so many times just being on this show, and it's like, it's not like a pet peeve of mine or anything like that, but it is tough being on the show, and it's not an excuse, but you can sometimes, you don't get the orders out at the right levels, and then you're like, oh, I missed it. And you always hear me say stuff like that, and it's only on me, because if you're looking at too many names, there's a reason why, and Neil and I will sort of differ sometimes. He'll take a little bit more opportunities or a little bit more chances, but I've only taken Tesla, NVIDIA, DJT, and Apple today. I've only taken 4 names today. Written on here, this is not the right one. But anyways, oh yes, it is. Written on here, Tesla, NVIDIA, so those are the 2. We wrote down Apple on our sticky note tweet, but we don't have it on here. And then the other one that we didn't write down was DJT on here, but that's been on there every day. We have FXI, that didn't bump. And then unfortunately, I wrote down DraftKings.
Yeah, what did Baba do?
Baba's getting killed, man. Baba's one of the better decisions that I've made on the sell side. I sold half of this position from a long at 70 at 117.50. And the reason why I remember this is because you were doing that show there, and I put it in the chat because I waited until I kind of...
Yeah, it was the aftermarket show.
Yeah, it was the aftermarket show, and I was like, I just said, I'm getting out of this name, and at least half of it. Felt that I was a little euphoric again on China, so we did get out, and we got out of Win as well at 104. I don't know what Win's at right now.
That pulled back huge. Win got...
Was 104 an actual price? Yes, it was. Wow, holy shnikes. All right, that's why, I mean, we have some great calls there. I'm not, we did it live. You can go onto my Twitter and type in win, and I guarantee it'll tell you when I got out. But right there, 104 and change to the downside. So there goes Win. And we talked about this, got out on China stimulus. Now, Win did not come out with a good report, so that's part of it, but I've been holding Win for a while. Shout out to Nelson, who I met in Miami there, and shout out to Playmaker too. There's videos on and Playmaker had passed. He was a police officer in Miami County there, Dade County, and what a fantastic guy. I was able to meet him. He met up with me at the hotel there, at Blau, in Miami Beach, and it was great, and it was just amazing. Now getting a little emotional about it, but at the end of the day, we talked about Win, and I did like the stock, and it was a great COVID play, I feel like. But now, when we got out of it on China, so down 3%.
Yeah, Raider.
No, he's not. Yeah, Raider Trader apparently is in the chat. What's up, Andrew?
What up, Andrew?
And I see that you're riding the coattails here of XBI. I hope you're in this name, Raider. We really like this one. We've been talking about XBI for a minute. This is like one of the only ETFs I've really ever bought. I've talked about that besides SPY and Qs. I don't even know if I'm in SPY, but an SMH would be another one. So we're in XBI. I really like that one. As I get older,
The only ones, if you don't count SPY and Qs, and I guess I'm
only saying that because the mutual fund.
I'm in the diamonds too, so I guess technically I have those 3, and then XLE is the only one I've ever. Actually, no, that's not true. I have swung GDX in the past, so GDX is
never. Yeah, go ahead.
That's the only one. But to your point about getting on yourself for like missing fills, like I actually came into today and look, Funware got out, DJT was bouncing. If my reason for getting into Funware in this level break, thinking it's going to flush to the low of the day is because DJT broke a shelf, well then when it goes back up and breaks resistance, I'm going to get out, whether it's flat or it doesn't matter. It just didn't go. And when it did go, I was trading DJT instead because I got caught in the euphoria of DJT long when it was going and then forgot, no, I have been usually sitting out that trade to go short Funware when it comes back. And that's actually been consistently better, at least for myself. When GameStop was going nuts, there was a time where I was just going, and if BlackBerry decided it was, or Cause was going to make a sympathy run, I was just a higher percentage reverting the other thing, and it was just an easier trade because like why the heck would BlackBerry deserve to go up 10% just because GameStop is squeezing? When GameStop pulls back, it's an easy short. I'd rather take the easy trade when I can. Top VoIP, Sharif's just on vacay. He's back on Monday. So Sharif will be back on Monday. He just took a couple of days off. I don't know if he did anything special. Obviously, the Cowboys are having a hard time. Look, I mean, if you got Cooper as your quarterback, Cooper Rush, maybe you need a couple of days off.
What's the problem when you're debating putting Trey Lance back in there?
They're not going to play Trey Lance. You think they're going to play?
Yeah, because Cooper Rush is useless. I mean, Cooper Rush was okay when
he like 5-1 as a starter or something?
Yes, but what I'm getting at is we'll see if they win this week, because the thing is I think they already have 5 losses, right? So 6 or 7 losses wax. I don't think, especially with 18 or whatever.
Bounces are out.
All right, let's check it out.
Apple sell 2 million, Amazon sell 2 million, Lyft sell 1.7 million. Wolf is a sell of 1.7 million. There's one you don't see very often. iBit is a sell of 1.5 million. I don't think I've ever seen iBit on the imbalance locator. I don't know if you have. Pinterest is a buy. At least Pinterest is a buy. 1.2 million. Looks like it's mostly sells. Although we just got it from Adair. 500,000 S&Ps. Sorry, 2.4 million. The S&P 500 is a 2.4 million sell. The Mag 7, 770 million to the sell side. BlackBerry did come out of sell, but didn't go get any bigger. So Apple, Amazon. I would venture that Wolf is the one that I'm not used to seeing. TeraWolf, 1.7 million sell imbalance. That's done 20 million today. Okay, that's done twice as many shares as I anticipated when I pulled it up. I thought it would be a much more significant percentage of its daily volume. Instead, it's less than 10%, that 1.7. And it was spiking when the sell imbalance came in. Yeah, something weird about that.
So we'll see if Tesla can finish the day. Again, thanks everybody for watching. The day is going to get a little short in the tooth here. Adair and I will be on the recap show, so join us for that one. There's no earnings to recap, but we'll recap the week of earnings. So that is daily. You are 100% right. So next week I'll be doing it as Neil will be away, and we should be able to, again, celebrate another positive week. I think it should be another one next week. You know what we didn't check out today was USO. We haven't talked too much about energy today. We'll review all of the sectors in just a couple minutes on that show. So join me. We're going to get up there in just now, I guess, 7 or 8 minutes. We'll review some sectors, and it's going to be an Ask Us Anything. So AMA with Adair and myself. So join us then. It should be a lot of fun. We'll do that. As Neil asked a great question about which stock would we like to hold for a while. Those kind of questions will be there as well. What's your favorite Bubblicious gum? Things like that can also be asked. I asked my daughter what does she want for dinner. I think I got the shawarma response again right here. So we'll figure that all out.
She's still on the shawarma. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. That's one of the best things. The joy of kids when they find something they love, and you can relive that joy of when they're, because I'll never have a food. I love food and I can try a new thing, but it's not the same as when you discover something, when a kid discovers something.
She loves Freshie, the bowls.
Freshie.
She actually said maybe to
I think they're a little overpriced. I can't.
Yeah.
They're good, but it's just for what you get, I'm that's not good value.
Make it yourself, yeah.
I'd rather just, and I have nothing against Freshie.
Those Mandy's bowls were good, the ones that Brendan got, but those are double the price of Freshie.
Dude, the brisket, the amount of brisket that we got yesterday.
That's not a bowl, that's a bowl of meat.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is true. That bowl of meat there was $25 Canadian, which is I think $4 US.
Took me 2 days to eat it.
Amazing. That's what I said. This is why we need.
Ramin, just speak so everyone can hear you instead of us trying to. This is why we need
Ramin's mic live. I'm okay. Oh, she's on a vow of silence. I think her and Sharif are having.
Been talking all day, Ramin.
Yeah, she's been a hell of a lot of talking all day. She said the best ones are in Kensington Market on amazing salads. So go there if you're at Kensington Market is just, I guess, west of here, but basically just west of Chinatown if you're here.
Yeah,
Spadina, just west. Anyways, anybody in Toronto knows Trinity Bellwood's a beautiful park.
Yes.
Right near there. Can be a beautiful park right there. Anyways, join us. Part of where the first legalized marijuana was in Kensington Market again.
You can imagine how that...
Of course, yeah, and there's still some big shops over there. So if you're looking to get some of that, you can go over there as well. Or you can go to any street here in lovely Toronto, Ontario.
They got a few.
And find 4 or 5 cannabis shops on every corner.
Per capita, I think
Neil's leaving, but
I want to
temporarily leaving.
Yeah, I want to shout out to VR of Rose Trades. Thank you for the super chat. We'll miss you, Neil. I'll be gone for the week, but you'll be in good hands. You got Sean, you got the entire team. It's gonna be fantastic. And if Sharif will be back, and Obes is going to be on there on the ones and twos.
Okay.
Obes.
Obes.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be there all week long. Got to have a little nickname fun here. This
Ramin's always mad. Who asked that in the question?
What's she mad at now?
I don't know. You ask her, bro.
I brought her Halloween candy.
Nope, not enough to make her happy.
You know what? I'll bring when I come back.
She doesn't have the matcha.
We'll bring some candies for you, and it'll be all good. You didn't have your matcha today. That could be the reason. Or you didn't buy App Love in stock today. That's another reason. It's like there's like App, Tesla, and Upstart today.
Yep.
And what was the other one? IonQ and IonQ. Like those four. Like there's been so many big movers. Oh, IonQ is dipping a little bit here going into the close. But App Lovin' wasn't. App actually just continued. Now 290 it just got to. This was 245 in the morning. 245. Like this isn't gapping up that much and then continuing. Like the whole move for App was today. Like the whole move. Like it's not up 18% because it gapped and then followed. This is the entire move from the open. And look at this. Like you like VWAP. You VWAP bought this. You got 10% from noon. Wow. App Lovin' is on one. And it's, can you think it's going a little meme crazy?
I always think of McLovin.
From 165 to 290 in 3 days. I feel like I'm going to come back and something, this is going to be $100 down in a couple of days at some point next week. But we'll see. Big mover. It's obviously only 4 minutes to go here. I'll double check the imbalances. It's still, no, it looks like most things paired off. Pinterest is still a buy, at least at 1.3. Intel sell of 1.3. That's not very big. Most of the other names have paired off here. So looks like a nothing burger on the imbalances. BlackBerry's still a sell because why would anyone want to pair that one off, I guess? So it is near that high. It's just not a very big imbalance. That's the problem. If it had grown, I think it would look a heck of a lot better. But when it comes out exactly what we expected, usually that's not going to surprise anybody, and you want it to be a surprise. So nothing there on the imbalances. But it's kind of nothing. Team BJ, CT, at Neil Roberts, Vegemite Challenge. Nope. Absolutely not. If you can turn 1,000 likes into 10,000 likes in 3 minutes, I'll do some Vegemite.
We're not doing Vegemite.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not doing it again. Like I did it once.
I mean, you probably will do it again at some point. But
I'm an idiot like that.
Figure out what.
No, it's disgusting. Let Obi. Obi crushed it.
No,
like
we
it
can't
was.
let Obi do it because I feel like I wasn't here, but after what I'm hearing, like I don't feel like it was that bad. We looked at Obi, he's like, yeah.
You know the episode of The Simpsons where Homer does that chili, the hot chili challenge?
Yeah.
He coats his tongue with
he's got
a candle wax or something so he could, I feel like Obi, maybe he doesn't have like taste buds or, I don't know. Just the stuff is disgusting. He ate it like it was nothing. So I was surprised by that. Shout out to him, man. If you're wondering what Vegemite is, it's this. I think you get it in Australia and maybe New Zealand. It's high in vitamin B and you spread it on toast. And it's supposedly good for you, but it is repugnant. And it's also expired 3 years ago.
Oh, that would be a problem.
2022, it expired in 2022.
Yeah, that might make it taste better. All right, so
awesome.
Again, thank you so much to everybody.
Where's
Only
Tesla?
2 minutes left. That's what I was going to review was like some of these stocks that we had on.
320 still.
So yeah, exactly. So Tesla's still above that 320 marker. It did make a bounce into VWAP down there at 316, so that could be a level to look at later on. Let's go over some more trades here or some more names.
So
NVIDIA basically flat on the day. I mean, down 1%, but pretty flat in the afternoon. Not much happening there. DJT closes at 32 or close to it, up 15%. Congratulations to that one. So we'll go awesome. I know a lot of you have been holding out hope that this can get its way back. I think 34, like this looks like a good price to me. I don't know. That would be a good one there. And then Apple, which is going to be one that we made money on early and we were able to get away from it. We talked about that. This is how you have those $30 winners on Tesla and then get away when you're wrong. I mean, we were long here on a 228 break. Was a great trade. A bunch of outs up there, then got it back at VWAP, then lost VWAP and got out. Didn't have to worry about this move down. Apple actually pretty disappointing today. Closing not near the lows, but close enough to it with only about a minute left.
Go SoFi.
Apple. Yeah, what the hell's going on?
$12.99.
10%?
9%. It's almost there.
Yeah, go over to Neil's screen there.
SoFi has 1 minute to break $13. It's right there on the offer. 500,000 shares on SoFi. I mean, there's only a minute left to go. Like, what else are you going to do? Earlier today, someone pranked me by saying SoFi 13, and I called it up, and it was at 70s. We're happy to see it happen. I'm definitely a bag holder on that stock. So let's go SoFi. Hopefully when I come back from Rome, it'll be at $16 and I would have gotten a fill.
Nope.
At $15.69.
Good. Put it there. It might get.
Yeah, $15.69 for sure.
Can you imagine if SoFi
40.
goes up 50% next week?
It's not. No, 15. That's only. That's not. That's like.
Well, $12. What'd you say? Is that $13?
No, I'm $15.69. So that'll be another
$3.
Another 20%.
25%. Yeah,
it could happen.
It could happen.
It's possible.
I mean, I didn't think Palantir would close the week at 59.
Exactly. Like well, first of all, Palantir is probably not the same thing as SoFi. The closing bell brought to you by Firefly Neurosciences, revolutionizing brain health. Ring it right now, Adara. I can't even get the countdown right. Ooh, I have a stop order. Let's just cancel that. SoFi broke 1301. It just printed, so I'm going to say congratulations, even though the bid's still at 99s. I'm absolutely going to have so much gelato. It's out of control, and I'll hopefully gain a couple pounds and then walk it all off because there's a lot of walking to do in Rome. But you know what? It's been an absolutely fun week. I know you got to get over the desk, so I'll do the fist bump now.
Right. Well, I don't.
Have a great week next week. Obviously, you went over. You're gonna crush it. But I want to thank everybody for all the well wishes in the chat. Everyone's saying have a great trip. There are even suggestions like where to eat, what to do. I appreciate it. And if there's something really, really good, you can always DM me place to go. And thanks for all those well wishes. Big shout out to the entire team like we always do. Fabian and Ramin on the ones and twos. Even though Ramin doesn't want to talk to you guys, we will thank her anyways. We love you, Ramin. And of course, I can't forget to shout out Andre, who's for the first time today, when I look over, he is not headphones on, focused, editing videos and social media stuff for us. He does all the good stuff that you see put out. He does all that work, so I want to shout him out. Usually he's like locked and loaded and ready to go and headphones and focus. But midday was fantastic as always. Want to definitely shout out to Tay and then Obi filling in for Sharif. Sharif is back next week. We got Brendo giving us the news early. We got Adara for the rest of the day. Want to shout out both of them. And then, of course, a big thanks to both of our guests this morning. We had a double barrel. We had Michael Noss on in the morning, and then we had Raheem. So Raheem coming on and giving you guys the goods. Always fun and always great, fantastic guests, both of our guests. And look, if you did not have fun with this market, I don't know what to tell you. On a day where the NASDAQ was flat, you had Tesla going ape. You had Upstart going ape, SoFi closing at $13. You had AppLovin going crazy. So there's a heck of a lot to go over and a heck of a lot to review. And hey, we haven't even had the biggest earnings name. Like NVIDIA hasn't even reported. They don't report for a couple of weeks. So you know we've got a lot to still have happen here, and that's why the markets are so much fun, because every single day provides opportunities, and you've just got to be there and ready for them. Thanks again for another super chat we just got in there. Thank you so much, Ed Clark. I appreciate you. I will enjoy Italy. I always miss the desk, but sometimes you got to make those memories, and I can't wait. And it's been a heck of a lot of fun seeing you guys send the well wishes. But the best part is, it's not over. You get a market recap show. You got Sean. You've got Adara at the desk. So without further ado, if we're locked and loaded and ready to go, let's throw it to the market recap about now.
Yeah, what's up, Obi? Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. What a week. We had our second best day of the week today, and it was a great one. I want to thank everybody for watching. We're here on the Market Recap Show, again, brought to you by Firefly. Thank you so much to Firefly. We don't have any positions, of course, as we are now flat into the bottom. And what we'll do is just recap the week, right? We got a Fed come through, and I mean, yesterday, Fed was a good one. This is a 15-minute chart here for the Qs. We'll flip this over to a daily, and guess what? Today, new all-time highs again. I don't know if it's going to be a closing high, but there we are right there. NASDAQ actually turns positive today, right at the end of the day. We had Jerome Powell and company go 12-0 yesterday, Adara, for the quarter point. They talked all about the economy. They really liked it. Sort of said that we didn't need to be so data dependent anymore. Economy continues to be strong. 12-0. Possible rate decreases every other meeting, as we'll check out the dot plot as we go along. But the Qs today, big time move up to the upside there. And I don't know, I checked the account. We are blasting off right now. A couple big names today. Oh, you've got the Bang Energy. Didn't we talk about that yesterday?
We did.
What flavor? Is that the grape that you love?
That is Black cherry vanilla.
Oh, you mentioned black cherry. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about cherry for me is that that's like the cough syrup. I don't know. I can't get that taste out of my.
That's why people don't like grape either. That's usually because grape's also kind of cough syrup. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind either.
My daughter was getting a little bit of a cough, so and my son actually, I feel like everyone has a cough since 2020, I feel like. But she had some cough syrup the other day. She goes, "Ooh, it's lime," and she liked that.
Lime cough syrup?
Yeah, so I'm gonna find out.
That sounds amazing. Tell me. It's not like children's cough syrup. I'm down.
We'll find out more about that. The indices today were fairly subdued. I mean, of course, we had a big week. We just wrapped up all-time highs across the board. We had IWM with not an all-time high, even close to that, but still continuously breaking out. I mean, look at this on the daily for IWM. This is the Russell 2000. We've now officially broken out. We've had many people on the show talking all about this. Where were we going to go with the small caps? Obviously, Adara, as rates continue to become lower, that helps the small cap names because they borrow cash and they don't not sitting on cash piles, and they can't just dip into the old bank account to spend, right? So that's going to help out for some of these small cap names, and there goes IWM. But you did not miss the trade. We talked about XBI and how much we like that. IWM on the weekly still has a little bit to run before we get to those highs, but oh boy, it's looking pretty nicely done right there. This is the diamonds. Huge week for the diamonds. We get again, although we know that Intel's out of there now, NVIDIA goes in. That happened yesterday. It's today the 8th. Today was the first day of trade for NVIDIA inside of the Dow. So again, helping this go to the upside. And me and Brendan and I talked about this last year when we were doing the podcast. I said, why not flip from into the Qs into the Dow? And that's been really working out. We had UNH, nice moves up there, Microsoft and so on and so forth, help lead the way there. XLE, interesting spot here. This is again another weekly. I'm going to go back down into a daily for this. This is real estate. So I think this is another ETF that has a chance to go. XLRE, the real estate ETF. We're going to take questions today, so if there's any sort of questions you have for Adara, I put them in the chat. We may or may not have Raider Trader joining us. I'm not sure if that's going to be going through. Not? Okay, so that's fine. He was in the chat there. We weren't sure if he was coming through. FXI for China. China downside today. Again, that stimulus package hits, but it's not enough, right? We'll have to wait to see what happens here with FXI. I think we're at like a tipping point right now with this at 31.55. We could draw the line right here. It's getting ready to go. So here's FXI. Let's zoom in a little bit here. This is what we're at today. If we break below the 50 period, I got to say we'll talk to you a little bit later, down into 24, 25. Let's see if China can hold that. I'm not sure if President Trump will be good or bad for China. I feel like he's been there before and talked about it. So we'll wait to see, are those tariffs going to hit all these Chinese companies or not? A big one could be NIO. Again, if we look at NIO as far as manufacturing is concerned, EV names, they have a very, very competitive product that could sort of step on Tesla's toes, a cheaper EV. Yeah. That's kind of what we're all waiting for, Adara. And a lot of those are going to be coming from the Chinese names. So if they can tax those, then it does give a little bit of a floor maybe to names like, again, a Rivian, which is going to close. You know, Rivian's going to close that $5 billion deal. So they're going to have a lot of cash on board with Volkswagen. So watch out for RIVN. Yeah. Watch out for Ford, GM. GM's really printing nicely. We asked a question earlier, would we like to buy a stock and hold it for a minute? What about Rivian? Good quarter from them today. Adara up over 5%.
Yeah, I mean, another good day here, just because I have the chart up. CRM closing in a bull flag. This is wild. I remember I brought this story around like 2:35. I was like, hey, just seeing this, you know, 1,000, apparently there's going to be like 1,000 people being hired to sell this AI-based sales product. And I think it was around here when I called this. Then I go to the bathroom, I come back, and it's like made new eyes. That's why you got to, like, if you see news that might run, make sure you know, because I come back and I'm like, oh, hi, Salesforce. Pleasure to see you. But yes, the Salesforce, definitely a force of strength to the upside today. Chart I had up. Airbnb was, I traded some Airbnb today on earnings. That was a pretty good one. Meta was in a nice little uptrend as well. Yeah, it was. And then, I mean, one name that I actually did not trade just because it didn't set up for me. But let's talk about Miss Lilly for a second here, because look at this push. This looks like day 3 Novo Nordisk earnings. Here, I wasn't seeing any catalyst for it beyond that. But wow, do we fall off this? I was looking for this reversion, but I didn't have like a clear risk level for it, just the way it had moved up. So it wasn't able to touch it. But man, we go from 847 highs all the way to 830. So what a reversion here for Lilly. Still up about 4.5%. But yeah, the point we're trying to make, lots of big moves and lots of earnings on watch lately, guys.
Here is, and we tweeted this out. Thanks to Dara for pointing this out to me today here. So we talked about the new inclusion of NVIDIA into the Dow. So right here, it's now the world's largest company. So obviously it's going to be the largest company in the Dow. But here's all the names that we're dealing with right now. So I don't know. Oh, there we go. We can zoom. That's pretty good right there. I think you could probably see this. If not, so it's 3M, Amazon, AXP, Amgen. These are all alphabetical right there. And this is why, I mean, I dipped into Berkshire over the last couple of days, or last couple of weeks, months, I guess. But it had a nice dip down in. Thank you, Ramin. Perfect. This is, I mean, the best. So these are all the big names. You know, individually, I own IBM, some J&J in there. But you want to talk about, like, as I look here, especially with the inclusion, where's NVIDIA right there? Like, this is just a well-balanced portfolio, in my opinion. Like, a lot of us pay to have people manage our money. I don't. But and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But look at the diversification that you're going to get here. We just talked about how much we like XBI. They have Amgen in here. If you like some of the retail side, you got Amazon here. You've got Disney down there. You've also got Walmart. Like Amazon, and I don't think Costco's in the Dow. I don't believe, no. But you have Caterpillar with the industrials. I mean, they do a great job of all of this. CVX, right? Get some Chevron in there. Like, they're all here. Honeywell, more industrials. So I don't know. I don't get paid anything by the Dow or anything like that, but I really think that this is a well-balanced portfolio that, you know, 30 companies and some of the best now included there into NVIDIA. So I just wanted to sort of point that out. Go find me at Trader TV, Sean. You'll be able to find all those names, or just simply put in Google or Gemini who's in the Dow and what those percentages look like. So yeah, so far so good. So let's just keep on going here with this. Tesla, a big day for Tesla. Look, Tesla shareholders rejoice, right? I mean, what a day for Tesla. Again, another 10% today at its peak. It only closes up 8 points, so that's a great little level there for Tesla. The only thing I want to bring to everyone's attention, we got a question earlier, where does Tesla stop? I don't know. You know, a reasonable guess of mine was right here, $300. But we took that out and said, no, thank you, and we kept on going through. That top right there is 313, 314. Can Tesla get back into that level? Yes. Will we be buying those levels? Probably. But nothing wrong with getting something out. Now, again, holding forever, good plan, right? But some of these names, there's a euphoric atmosphere that's been happening over the last little while. Do not, and this is a weekly chart. I'm actually meant to change this back over to a daily. Let me just do that quickly for you. So just since President Trump's been announced, like, this name has gone up $70. Like, you're up 20, 25% just on that alone. So we have to be very, very careful. It bumped up 19% the day of the election, or day after the election, another 10% now. It's up about 30%. And I think that just on what could come, I think we could get a lot higher. But I like Tesla at these levels. I didn't sell any, but I think that we're getting very, very close to that. Another big winner over yesterday, we looked at Airbnb. Now, again, I said winners, A, B, and B. But Airbnb, I think in this environment, we've seen Uber come back in a little bit. What about some Airbnb? There's not too many names where I kind of like the story, and you're still above the 50-period moving average. So there's DraftKings that had a big day today. Airbnb a little bit lower. I kind of like that stock. Adair chomping at the bit. What you got?
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I have a trade in Airbnb I can show in a minute, but basically S&P 500, I wanted to put this out here because look at this weekly chart. Like, you're talking about strength on Tesla. Tesla was really strong. Tesla had apparently its best day since 2022, and now it is at its highest level in 2 years since 2022. So great look for Mr. Elon Musk. But also, if you look at the SPY chart here in the weekly, what a breakout. We have this uptrend, then we gap up. The S&P 500 apparently having its best week in a year, up 4.7%.
Yeah, good.
So I wanted to put that up here.
Up 4% in a year?
4.7% this week for its best week in a year.
Right.
So great look here for that S&P 500. Fantastic look there. And if you guys have any questions for Sean or myself, you want to know what makes us tick, what our thoughts are, and whatever ticker.
Now, you don't want to know what makes us tick.
I'm kind of joking.
We got it right there. The Bang Energy.
I don't know if this is like keeping me awake more than
No, it's been.
tick,
I was saying that to Adair today. I made hundreds and hundreds of trades and quite exhausted after the week. But we had our best week in probably a couple months this week.
Same.
So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you
on that one. I think you and I right there. So good job there, Adair. We really appreciate how much better you've gotten as a trader. Okay, so just real quickly, there is a question here in the chat. So let's start. I mean, we can start to go over it. This is from Dogelander. Dogelander. My gosh. All right, here we go. Dogelander, there it is right there. He asks Sean, what are his thoughts about Palantir running forward into next week? Great job. There was also another question in there about what made us go long on Tesla. So I'll answer both those questions right now. All right, the first answer is very, very simple. Every single break since the election, we've been trying to go long on Tesla. We missed the 290. We crushed Tesla yesterday, though. And today we're like, let's find that next level. So we wrote it down right here on the sticky note that we wanted the 300 break. It's easy. I wrote down the word easy. Or dipping to 293. Adara, it was so easy that we missed it, actually. Like, so we're on it. We're watching it.
It was pretty quick, yeah.
The only stock that we had on our radar here early was Tesla. So it was we had Tesla and NVIDIA, both those breaks. Peace out, Fabian. All right, so $300 right there. That break of 300, we missed it, but we were already long. So we already had inventory, to take a word from our guy over there. Now, that's Obi. We were going to take this out for $2, $3 hit. Okay, so already we sort of had an idea of where we want to take out the majority of the trade. So that's why a lot of these orders are coming out here at 305. So that 305 actually gives us a $7 winner, which is already 2-to-1 to our risk to reward. All right, then we take out another piece up here. That's that 307. So right now we're $10 in the money. You guys ask, how do we hold, all right? So one thing that we're trying to use to hold is this prior bar. So it was actually on a 5-minute chart. So let me try to drop this down and see about a 5-minute. Sometimes, okay, good. Sometimes it crashes the charts. That chart actually did real well right there. So let's just zoom in a little bit here. So as we're going long into Tesla, this is today. Nice move. Is this today? Yeah, 3:30. So as we're going long, we're trying to use these prior bar closes in order to get stopped out. So as we continue to run higher, the only area was maybe here at 10 o'clock is that 308, 307 area. But we already took a 307 out, so we did not use that. Then it just climbed. And at this point, we're like, okay, we'll use a prior bar close. And this is what it was. I said on the earlier show that we used a 50-period moving average. That's a good one to use, Adara, to keep watching this to go to the upside. But it was this first prior bar right into here. Now, we could have used this up here at 316, but we waited for this 314.50 area in and around 10:30 to get out. So prior bar, cover it up. That's where we used our out, because you never know when we could turn around. So let's go back over to our 1-minute chart. So there's that out right here. At, what did I say, 1040? So there it is right there at the bottom, 1040. Nice. So there's the prior bar out right there at 314.15. Saves us a little bit because it goes into 312. But then we hold on some for the dream. And then we did hold that. But it didn't matter. We don't have an out because we bought more, baby. Once it broke 320, not only Adara is 320 a key level, but we already have top right there at 319. Once we broke it, we took a 320. We're able to get 320.25. Then it starts to go back up to the upside. So great question there in the chat. How can we hold it and what do we look at? Hey, that's something that I've been dealing with and battling not my whole career, but definitely the last couple of years as we've changed our style, trying to hold something a little bit longer, Adara, especially in this market. You just looked at Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly can move $100 in a day.
Oh, yeah,
and I mean,
easily.
We just had Tesla up 10% moving today. That's $30. And we captured almost all of it. I think we have about $27 in net today on Tesla. But you broke down a good trade. What was your, prior bar? So end of the day, prior bar on a 5-minute chart, closing below it, covering that prior bar up the Piper. That's what I use to that. One more question, and I'm going to throw it back over to Adara just to talk about whatever you want. If there's any questions for Adara, I don't know if you've seen any in the chat.
I have not seen any, but if anyone has any questions for me, let me know.
Yep, get those going.
Get them in.
All right. So the other question we had from Dogelander was, what about Palantir? All right, so I asked this exact question to Brian Shannon here live on the show. He's CMT. This guy's over everything. And by the way, go join Trade the Pool. I said to him right here, and he actually tweeted it out, so you can go find that as well. I asked him, what about this island right here, right? So we had made that move down, then they had earnings. They blasted up higher there on November 4th. Nice move to the upside. Plus you get President Trump, plus you get everything American. These guys are so pro-America, it's crazy. You hear Alex Karp talking, he's like, let's annihilate everybody around.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to use our software to do it. Like, that's literally what he's saying. But there it goes to the upside. So where do I think Palantir can go from here? Well, a very important thing is I want to see this short float get updated. Right now, it's only at 4.75%. I actually think it's going to be higher than that, as there's a lot of traders that are probably thinking this run is a little bit outperforming where it should be. I agree with you. The PE of this thing is in the hundreds. It's book to sale, price to sales right now is like 50 times, maybe even more than that. We'll have to double check it off that last earnings. But they're not going to report a down quarter, I don't think. You know, with everything that we've been talking about, new president sort of gives more uncertainty. I don't care who it was, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. I just think that we're going to have to talk about China. We're going to have to talk about Israel, Iran, and Israel, or anyways, that conflict, which is a lot of countries involved. And then the Ukraine, Russia. You know that basically Trump has come out now and already said, Putin, you have till January 20th to get out or get this resolved. He's told Israel that we have to get this resolved by the time I'm in, or else we're going to have to make some decisions.
Yeah.
So what exactly does that mean? Not to talk politics, but I think Palantir continues to win in this environment. And if you're long, I would say you use a psychological level of $50. Now, that's going to be now 20% lower than where we are. We almost had a heart attack when someone put in the chat $59 for Palantir. Well, guess what? It's not just a dream. This is $58.50 right now.
That's wild.
I took 10% out. So to ask me a question about Palantir, I took 10% out of my own swing trade portfolio, nothing for the long term. We took some out at 58.10 today. So that was that one right there. So, all right, we do have some more questions. Oh, first of all, just quickly, I want to talk about uranium down today. Yeah. Despite SMR, we really like that SMR trade. I didn't get anything out. I think 25, I know Neil talked about that. 24.69, the guy's silly like that. He put some offers out there. He talked about that live on the show, so I'm not talking his book. He mentioned it, getting some of his position out. I have no idea where he's long, but he took some out there on NewScale. I'm long $12. It's a great trade. It's been a great breakout from here. And again, I feel very euphoric about all of these trades as they continue to go upside. So I really do like SMR, but uranium, if you're taking some money out of SMR because of the move, but you still like to play, put it in URA. Right, put some money into the ETF if you still like that. What's been moving to the downside? Not much, but gold has been on that move.
It's a gap down.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? As more and more traders switch over. Not yet, Brendan. We're on that camera. Now you can go. We don't need to put any money more into gold. But if you did want a safe haven, I think you can buy some gold right now, as well as Bitcoin. Bitcoin seems to be a little off. You in Bitcoin yet?
No, I'm not in Bitcoin yet. I know I'm like behind the times. But I don't want to get involved in highs yet either. I would say Ethereum, though, I've talked about this a lot during the crypto segment. Ethereum, we are still kind of generally in a bit of a bear flagish formation. But with ETH, we're kind of trying to break that 3,000, and we're not at all-time highs. So Ethereum might have a little bit more of a buying opportunity than Bitcoin. Not advice, just someone who looks at charts. But yeah, I'm not involved in either or any, but I know it is a pretty lucrative opportunity for sure. So shout out to, I know Joe was involved in iBit. Shout out to him. I know you are involved in Cardano, which is up like a ridiculous amount too. So shout out.
Yeah, ADA. Yeah, we actually own ADA there. Okay. Again, we have something a call from BINI. I'm going to ask Adara. Would you choose Uber or Lyft for a stock?
Okay, let me look at these
look at charts and get back to that.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to have to look at that.
Uber or Lyft, because we had a big move on Lyft the other day, and I've been buying some Uber. I'm already in Tesla. I like to buy some more Uber, so we'll get that one going. All right, this is from BINI, and I'm not cherry picking. I'm doing these all. I'm trying to do most of these in order. So thank you so much to Bears vs Bulls, who's getting some of these questions. Guys, tag Adara. I want some questions for Adara.
I saw a question in there too. I can answer after.
Oh my God, what's up, Sebastian? I think there is a glass of red wine waiting, but I'm going to buy a better bottle on my way. What's your favorite? You big into wine at all?
I like pink Moscato and rosé. I'm like very basic. That's kind of my thing. There's that brand. What's it called? They're Australian. Banrock Station is really, really good. I like Ban. They do really good. Like I think it's a rosé Moscato, I believe, but that's really good.
All right, I like that. My wife likes the bubblies too. Like a bubbly rosé is very, very nice.
Oh yeah.
Barolo for a grape there. I'll see if we can grab some of that. I actually have a dinner party tomorrow night with some of the coaches and wives, and we're going to discuss our plan of action for some girls' baseball league.
That sounds cool.
We just started that this weekend. Okay, so Binny says, at Sean, what's your price prediction for NVIDIA? All right, I mean, we could put multiples on this thing and get it to where, you know, we think it maybe needs to go. But let me just look at Benzinga just real quickly here and type in NVDA again, and let's just have a quick little look. We've already zoomed in on this. We've done this the other day. So right now, the PE on NVIDIA moving forward is only 38. I don't know if we can we zoom in on this maybe a little bit better? So just into this area right here. Yeah, perfect. So there it is right down here. So the forward PE right now for NVIDIA is 38, right? The industry average is 37. Does that make any sense? NVIDIA is the industry and leading this industry. So I think it should be a much higher premium than that. And it's not really there. I think we can go higher. But also, you also have to look at some of the competitors that are here, right? Like Taiwan Semi's only at 22, Broadcom's at 29, AMD's at 30, and Texas Instruments at 34. So there are better, potentially, if you're looking at PE, better opportunities to get into that level. But I think, you know, for a growth name that's still growing, a 38 PE forward isn't huge. The market right now is at about 24. So I think if you slap on, like, I don't know, tangible book is only 2.14. I was going to say you could probably slap on about another 10% from here. I think we can get a P in the 50s, you know, maybe. So that would be a lot higher than that. But here's NVIDIA. It's breaking out. If we go by what some of these other stocks have done, you saw a huge quarter from Tesla. The hyperscalers don't seem to be, we didn't have any CapEx warnings at all. So I feel like Amazon, we heard from CRM, they're building more on AI, and there's so much talk about how NVIDIA, we still have those Blackwell numbers that still need to come through. NVIDIA's earnings date is the 20th. My father's birthday, so it has to be a good thing happening on that one. So November 20th coming up really quickly. I would say price target for NVIDIA, 170.
That's not a bad price target, and I like that you explained why you were looking for that.
I don't know.
I think that's cool.
We'll find out if that comes through. But I just think that, hey, on earnings, if they beat, I think you got at least 10% up.
Yeah.
So that's what some of these companies have been doing, let alone Jensen knows how to speak. He's been road showing, and I just feel like if you're not in, then you're not in, and you're going to have to get in to NVIDIA as it continues to go higher. Go ahead. What's the question for you?
Oh, so I'll answer your Uber versus Lyft question first, because I did some charting. You know, I'm going to kind of shock myself. I'm actually going to pick Lyft, and it's based on charts. So look at Uber here. We had double top here. This is on the daily chart, February 15th. Then again here, March 3rd, 2024 at 82. Then we sell off. Now look where we gap up above into on October 11th. That was the day after Robotaxi Day, the 1010. We have that support here at 82, but we hold it not for very long. Then we gap down from it, and look at the area that we reject on earnings day one last week. It's 82. I think we're struggling with 82. I do not love Uber there. Now, on the other hand, I also looked at Lyft, and I did some charting on Lyft. Yes. So look at this double bottom here at Lyft at $9. I really like that. Then we get into a bit of an uptrend, and then we pop off that uptrend with that beautiful earnings day yesterday. Now, do I love all these topping tail candles since earnings? I don't know. But I think if we can kind of stay above this area that we've had, basically the top of earnings here, 17.5, which is also an area of resistance, going back here to, where was this, May 8th? If we can get above and stay above that 17.5, I don't mind it at all. I also like that we're through that previous area of support and resistance, that chip top there at 1560s. That is my reason I like Lyft. Also, there's a question here from Corbin I want to answer, asking what I did recently to change up my strategy and become profitable. So yeah, thank you for asking that question. I think the biggest thing was, I said this to the guys in the back too, when you just sit on your hands and you're just watching the market as an outside observer, you learn so much. Like my first 3 days when I was on the news desk, not in the midday, I didn't take a trade. I was just watching the market and seeing what happens. And then you become more confident. Like my first couple trades weren't even really my playbook that I took. Like I took some Apple, I took some Tesla. And then once I got more comfortable being able to trade on the news desk, then I was like, okay, what am I good at? What am I comfortable with? And then I got back into spread, right? Netflix, CrowdStrike. I just really realized I have no reason to be trading names that are not in my playbook, that don't have catalysts. Like, you know, Netflix earnings, I took that high of daybreak, I took a reversion short, I took CrowdStrike when I had that catalyst. Like I'm not looking for trades, I guess what I'm putting it. If they set up, I'll take them. And if they don't set up, I won't. Like I said, I missed that Lily reversion today, not because it wasn't cool, not because I wasn't looking at it, but it didn't have the right risk level for me, so there wasn't a point. And that's what I've realized. It's not about profit. It's about finding the strategies that work for you. When you trade those strategies appropriately, then the profit will follow. So thank you, Corbin.
Fantastic. I want to say, add on to that as well. You often hear us talk about different strategies. Neil sometimes talk about like a little bit of thing called like spread trading,
Yeah.
where you're trading like sort of names that are being bought out, just trying to make the 1 penny. Those things exist as well. So there's those strategies, and we've talked about Sharif on the midday preferring some of those smaller cap and
there's something for everybody.
So, and now you've sort of found yours with the spready names.
Yeah.
And then for me, I mean, you guys know that we just like pretty much everything, but you know, mainly those big cap names, and especially on breakouts. So I feel like for me, wow, everybody already knows what I'm doing. I think this is a really interesting name here for next week. Let's talk about some plays there. Look, there's so many questions. I'm never going to be able to get to them all. So I'm just going to talk about what I think could be on play for next week. What about SoundHound? All right. I mean, they have deals with NVIDIA here as well. This is going to be, I mean, SoundHound AI is in the name. This is the interesting thing to me. 24% short float in this name. This is what it looks like on the weekly. I think we just broke out. So this right here, this 650 level, test into here, up to $10. I mean, we get that. That's 30% from here. We'll take it. And then right there, we came up to 650 again, blocked, and back down to $4. And again, look at this base down here, $4 to $5. Look at the breakout, right? There's reasons why I'm in SMR. It looks better on the daily, but it's something very similar where we held the 50-period moving average, which is why we missed this $10 break. Really ridiculous. But we took the 13, and then we averaged back in on basically the same week when we came back in here into 10 and 12. So I'm looking at SoundHound and really thinking that this is a name to go. And it reports on the 12th. November the 12th, which, let me just make sure what day that is. I'll just check it on my calendar. Tuesday. So it's post-market Tuesday. So get ready for Sound next week. Did you come across any names next week? I haven't actually really.
Oh, next week is kind of lighter, but if you like Chinese ADRs, you are in luck. We got Baba.
And I do.
We got some JD.
Yeah.
We got some Billy. So if you like these ADRs, I think it'll be a great week for you. There's also some Rumble, which we know could be a little spicy. Because of, I don't know why I used air quotes there. There's no reason to air quote. Rumble could be spicy. It has some JD Vance connections, and I forget exactly what they were because I couldn't find him concrete, but I know he's been associated with that name in the past. There's also that, you know, Fun and DJT, so Rum could really get a little interesting there. There's HD, Shopify, Spotify. There are some names for sure. You can check out the market or the week ahead, which comes on Sunday morning. So Home Depot, I'm excited for too because that's spread.
I love, spready as well, but I really love Home Depot because I think it works in this environment, right? I think as we start to lower rates and people start to, again, look at their house, start to rebuild a little bit and start to just get going, especially into springtime, I think Home Depot guides forward. I don't know what their numbers are going to look like, but I really, really like that one. All right, we're done. It's roll call time. I have to apologize. I mean, we had too much fun there. We started going off and we didn't get to too many questions. But that's all good.
That's good. I enjoyed this
like
AMA.
The sweater?
I really like the sweater, yeah.
As I noticed you looking there, okay.
I was like, I was just looking at all the patterns and stuff.
Yeah, it's nice, right? Cool. Okay, so it's roll call time. What's up to CompuCare? I know you asked about AMD. Join me on Monday. I'll go over AMD then with you. We got to get out of here for sure. I'm not letting these two ladies stay late, you know. There's some parties happening tonight, I'm sure, or not. All right, thank you to everybody. Let's go over some roll call. I'll do the first bit, and Daryl will do the last part. All right, thank you to CompuCare team. I mean, you're here all the time, so we want to thank you. Jimmy Joe Smith, I haven't seen you there, but traders do stay late, and I want to thank everybody for staying late again here today. TH, AK Wahid, thank you so much for that one as well. Dewey, we've seen you a lot. Big day for Tesla. I mean, come on, Dewey, you're 100% right about that one. Frank Hanley, Bears versus Bulls, the best around. Rob EV, look, just 2,000 of you joining us right now, but I want to say thank you. It's Friday, slow day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, again, slow afternoon, but big day in the market. Thank you. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I am Groot, says Thomas Johnson. All right, Adara, wrap this thing up. What we got left?
Let's go. We got Robert Liu. We have Tyrone Hamilton. We have Streamlabs, so I'll shout out just because I can. Michelle Meir, Dwight Enjoys Life. I love that. See work, do work. We have Bears vs. Bulls, Demo Moore, The Piper, Pro Day Trader, Derek Thompson, Bright Awakening, Scratch Life, Bless USA 123. I mean, pretty apt name for the election this week. Dollar Bill, Smooth 1J, and that is all I'm seeing. Also, to your point about it being a slow week, I like it too because even Ramin was like, is it slow today? Because usually you're calling me every 2 seconds for news, and there's no news. So, I mean, even Ramin was feeling it. Bit of a slower week, but it's been a bit of a slower day, but it's been a crazy week, so good way to end it.
Hey, it's Matcha Monday, I promise you that.
Thank you.
Adara, potato, French fries. See everybody on Monday. Have a great weekend for Ramin and Adara, Brendo, and anybody else who's left. Brendan's actually not here. Obi and everybody else. We will see you then. Have a safe trip, Neil, and we'll check you guys on Monday. Ciao, everybody.
Check it. Bye.